Welcome everyone, this is Evelyn, and I have quite a bit of information for you today. I took a little bit of a break this week with my kids, and let's go ahead and take a few deep breaths first. I'm pulling in Source, Creator of all that is, Sophia, 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 for the best and highest good of all of those concerned. Let's go ahead and take a few deep breaths. Another deep breath. One more deep breath. Okay, sorry about the banging in the background. It's just Teddy with his bone. He got a new food bowl today. It's his birthday on the 21st. So he's got a few presents this week. He's very excited. All right, so let's roll the die, see what's going on here. We'll do some oracle cards at the end. I have several of my messages of the day. I'll get through as much as I can without going too long. And I have the Twin Flame abbreviated read on the table as well. So let's see. Today is July 1st, 2023, and we started the video at 5:50, which is the truth, with source energy backing it up. The Ace of Swords. It's 5:52 now, which is that truth energy along with the Queen of Swords and the High Priestess energy. And the Hierophant's been coming up a lot the past week or so as the Master of the Hidden House, which is the Alchemist. For the Twin Flames, July 1st, 2023. Okay, we have the Sun, the Singularity. So Leo energy, leadership, children, the I Am kind of energy. The Five of the Hierophant, we just talked about that, which is also Taurus energy. It's also freedom, change, and expansion. And then we have Leo again. So we have Sun and Leo on either side of the 5, which is change, in the middle. And we started at 55. So obviously we are focusing on the number 5 here. Freedom, change, expansion, the Hierophant, which can be commitment and guidance, the law and religion, along with Leo all around it as we're headed towards Leo and Cancer right now. Again, it's a big month. We have the full moon on the 3rd. We have the node changing into Aries on the 17th, the 18th. There is a positive aspecting of Jupiter and Mars on the 31st as well, going into Lionsgate, 8-8. I think 8-4 came up for something as well. So let's get into these energies. All right, so this first one was just general energies I was getting from a few cards, and I'll show you the cards that I pulled. So this is the Fortune deck. Sorry about that, it's my hair. Okay, so this was the cards I pulled, the underlying energy on the left, and the cards just pulled organically on the right. Okay, the Fortune's Oracle, which actually I'm going to pull a card for you right now from Fortune's Oracle. I've been really having some great energy coming from this deck. And then I'll start with the information from those cards I just showed you. All right, so the energy to start this message off. All right, the Hydra was definitely coming up. this past week as well. So there's that energy of Hydra, the snake. 28 is the twin flames, that choice of path. And the two snakes, right? We intertwined, weaving within each other. Your intuition, healing powers will guide you to a better path. Just be careful. And then we have the eagle soaring. So that could be Aquila energy as well. The 9 of the Hermit. The 9 is also the 1 in the all. It's compassion, endings. That's 555 on the clock now. You will soar towards your destiny with greater clarity and strength. This is very powerful energy right here. The bottom of the deck is marriage. 20 is the judgment card, the wake-up call. Perhaps making a decision. Celebrations here. You are attracting emotional fulfillment and unconditional love. And I went to the Phoenix is coming up here too. So I can't stress how powerful these cards are. I mean, look, you have Hydra, Aquila, and then the Phoenix here. Look at that. That's power. And then the moon. Okay, so we have a full moon coming up on the 3rd. Okay, so, and this also, and the breaking of the chains after that. So there's huge energies here of release. And I keep getting from this card too, which I don't normally notice so much, the 2 stars around the moon, and I'll get into that in the read as well. So again, just feel those energies just for a moment. Again, the 28 is twin flames, the Hermit, the 1 in the all, and then the 25, which is the 2 and the 5 reflecting each other, right? When they're written in block, they're the exact reflection of each other. But it's also the Knight of Wands, right? That fire lit under your butt to get you going. The snake, the eagle, and the phoenix. Very interesting. Well, eagles is, you know, where I am, Philadelphia, and I lived in Phoenix as well. And I was told by someone too that they believed I was originally from Hydra. Of course, we've all been many places, but these energies are all coming together as an example of the I mean, just look at that. The energy behind that is humongous. So let's see what else comes up with that, you know. And again, regarding this full moon coming up on the 3rd, so we're in those full moon energies now. I was trying to capture some moon pictures last night because Venus and Mars have been traveling together, which is why so much romance has been coming up lately. And then Venus pivots today, so Mars keeps going in that same direction, I believe, which I'll get into those directions when I get to that part in my notes. But Venus veers off today. So there's this huge togetherness. All right, so I don't want to get too much into that because we will get into that in the read. So from the cards I showed you already, the Fortune's Oracle, the underlying energy at the time was Patience of the Hourglass. So this hourglass energy was coming up as very significant as well, because the way it's depicted in this picture here, which I want to show you real quick. And the owl's been coming up a lot too. The owl, so here's the hourglass picture. So you see how it depicts, like this is the, you know, the infinity. So when the masculine and feminine are together, you know, these are the parts that are shared in the middle. And then these outer halves, like the halves of the moon, are the independent parts of the masculine and the feminine. But this is also depicting how the masculine energy becomes the feminine's heart, and the feminine becomes the masculine heart. A very interesting energy here. So that's coming up as well. All right. So in Patience of this Hourglass here, after the eagle soars, because the eagle had come up in the read as well, in the underlying energy, the 4 of the birthing and the 9 of the hermit, and 9 and 4 have been coming up a lot as well. The 32 of the journey of breaking the chains between land and sea. The legal eagles, or the L eagles, and the S eagles, which is Sophia's eagles and the Elohim eagles. Now I'm getting the illegal seagulls breaking free with the 24 Omega and Patience of the eagles soaring after the birth And remember I told you that story about the eagle that had stolen two twin hawk babies and kept one to raise it. So here's this energy of the eagle soaring after a birth, who's really a hawk raised by eagles as illegal seagulls, soaring in transformation with slowing down and making sure they stay high in flight, or for you, vibration, as the hawks go down when the heat is too much, which is why they fly high. So then 8 o'clock here, 00 is backing up the 8 of the dance and the manifestation of dreams with source energy backing it up. The 36 of Atlas World, the Pleiades to Earth, the energy of 15 in the shadow with skeleton key of love, and the 17 of healed, being healed, and dreams coming true. So again, no longer healing, but being healed, realizing you are whole, and dreams coming true, with the Page of Wands 26 and the plane taking off to Lover's Island. And this is still when the thunderstorms were going on. So it was going on during this read, and it had been going on the night before and the night prior to that. Just noticing Trinity Spiral Awareness. The 11 of the flowers, 25 of the phoenix, so there's that 25 coming up again. As the flowers align with truth and balance, as that Knight of Wands energy that I showed you that came up in the Phoenix card, as the Phoenix rises to burn away all the extraneous. And that was coming up in another way too, of after having come down the chakras system, down to the root, it's like one final blasting up of all extraneous. The 6 of the Chariot of Lovers, the Chariot of Cinderella, and 4 sparkling unicorns arrive. With the 23 King of Wands, wise old King of Wands, screeches, and there's that owl energy too of screeching, but screech came up as a definition from one of the words I was looking up as well. The screech and the 16 of the sudden roar of the lions and the lyrans. I was behind LRA today in the license plate. And a big gust of wind beneath the owl's wings to get them to the chariot on time. As Virgo, Capricorn, Aquarius, Libra, Sagittarius, Gemini, Leo, and Scorpio all came up here, as the Queen of Wands, Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, and King of Wands, all of the Wands court cards there, with toxic energies headed with justice for lovers in a sudden event here. I think that's supposed to say healed, actually. The toxic energies healed with justice for lovers in a sudden event, with Jupiter and Mars. I just talked about Jupiter and Mars on the 31st of July, in Sagittarius Scorpio, with Aries North Node and Leo Delivery. In the 7th house, hidden by its master key, the 24 of Pleiades, the 25 of Terra, or Earth, and that can be related to ether as AERTH, Earth, the bright light of Ruth, or sorrow, regret, and remorse, misery, or the miser in distress, mercy and compassion. The key to ascend is through compassion and gratitude. The Knight of Wands is the archer with bow, the white knight, the eagle, in the shout-out to Mount Olympus, the games we play, ascending to other planes of existence where love is the key as collective blooms and rises in a blast-off, subtle planes and actual rockets burning through the air, as the Queen of Wands with map of intent and the keys of love and taking off with the Page of Wands, as the Knight of Wands blasts off and the King of Wands rushes in with wisdom. The Divine Feminine rises slowly, the Divine Masculine blasts off, so must take off at different times in order to meet in the middle. As the lion's roar is the gun going off at the start, and they're off, the rising and diving of the phoenix as the eagle soars towards its destination. Both headed towards heaven on earth from opposite perspectives, as Spirit's connecting with me major right now. Same coin, co-hand, co-pilots. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. As he climbs straight up and down, she glides along, enjoying the journey, and he catches up in a hurry. At 8:27, that energy of strength and the dance and the manifestation of your dreams. So, let me see something. The master of the hidden house awakens to the magician's page of swords message. With Taurus upright, Pisces or Capricorn reversed, and Gemini or Virgo upright, as the hermit sheds light on this. Two wise ones trying to make magic with the page of swords, and egotistical one. With the Ten of Cups, happy family or rainbow bridge. The dark knight to the Queen of Swords reversed, who wants nothing to do with them and their arrogance. But the wounded warrior surrenders after getting hurt, and now present, out of alignment with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, and not working out or overtime for the Ten of Pentacles and the Two of Cups, trying to bring two from the Ten of Cups and Ten of Pentacles together, like Romeo and Juliet. In the falling angel and the Queen of Pentacles upright here, who's stuck with the Nine of Cups and self-satisfied. Or perhaps there's some smugness here with the Six of Cups soulmates and the Four of Pentacles reversed, of letting go to make amends and to release all anxieties. With Justice of the Purge or lack of sleep, the Queen of Swords reversed, detoxing and free from having to get together with bad influences or a third party perhaps. 9:10, begin again at 9:09. The Four of Wands, the home or the union, with the King of Wands reversed, recovering and almost done. The King of Wands now recovering from 5D, dumping of multiple loads, emotional attachments, saving, withholding, or playing hardball, and trying to magnetize a little kindness but ignored, grounding, integrating, and mastering how to receive love, bliss, uncomfortable with emotions of rejection or feeling of defeat, or perhaps a sore loser. In need of clarity when the Tower's upright happens, an epiphany or sudden event, or blowing their crown, their top, or their mind, or a jump in the water, or being pushed in at 9:18, which is the Hermit and the Moon, as we're approaching the full moon here. That's also my birthday, so there's that energy of alignment with the Divine Feminine. The Empress upright and the Five of Swords reversed, post-war coming clean, or getting clean about issues at work, enslaving, or working hard in the weight of the world, healing, forgiving, to get over it given a choice, as the Queen of Cups and Knight of Pentacles, both reversed, are not getting along, or sending in the Knight of Wands to rescue them in a heated exchange, juggling, performing, trying to lighten things up to find peace, and weakened by a big offer of love or secret admirer perhaps. As the Page of Wands reversed, in a twist of fate with the High Priestess reversed, or a secret admirer or secret passion, an announcement or wake-up call to a dream. As the Ace of Wands, new passion from the Emperor upright, and the Page of Pentacles, opportunity, maybe defenseless in a losing battle here of new passion, creativity, or growth. As the King of Swords reversed and the Nine of Pentacles reversed, may be acting like kids out of control, as the King of Cups upright is giving it a break and in need of attention or a bad reputation. The King of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords are rushing in with the truth, and then the Knight of Cups offering love forward and implementing a plan to invest, perhaps in investing in this energy of the full moon here, or a lover. The Gemini reverse, Cancer upright, or now when firmly in Cancer season, or this July 3rd full moon, to sharing or settling out with their ex at 9:42. and make me believe energy was coming up right there. So this next one starts out with the journey of love, going back to basics here for me. The journey of love, the Metatron deck, Nature's Whispers, and then the Shaman deck at the bottom there. So again, as always, on the left is the underlying energies, usually 3 cards, and then the other cards that wanted to organically come out that give me some numerology to work with, as well as complete the storyline there. Okay. So this first one here was at 10:23 to 10:26, the 23, 24, 25, and 26. Again, all of the Wands energy, King of Wands, Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands, and Page of Wands. Very significant here. And the piles at the end came up 1111, which in Gematria, the first entry is the twin flames, and 1114 also came up. And I'm looking at 3-4 as well, that energetic exchange and arrows of love. The twin flames co-create in the lambda leap, or the lamb to father leap. And there's the lion and lamb energy also coming up here. With the numbers 434 and 343, 434 came up in Gematria as YMCA, Lydia, Midnight Blue, Akashic Records, and everything on my way up to my nephew's party today was blue everything, right? So I went through the town blue, and then at least 3 businesses blue, and then another thing blue. There's like blue everything on the way up there. I was also behind 1122 and 7290, which 7/2 is tomorrow, and 72 would be written that way, 72/9. So there's that energy of tomorrow again, building up towards that full moon. The 343 was It's Time, Scott, Popcorn, and the C word, which I won't say, I don't like that word. And again, the 3 leaps of the gazelle, so the bear paws that are called the 3 leaps of gazelles in the constellation, with 14 here as well. 3 leaps of the gazelle to the patient angel and a higher love. And there's that leapfrog energy that creates the M of co-creation. 1v1, or 1 in parentheses, or 111, or 00, or 2 sets of parentheses, which then the middle set of parentheses is the X. And then the D, or 1 parenthesis, which is the abbreviation of M in the old ways. 1114 was Heavy, Sweetie, Purple Rain, R-A-I-N, and then Purple Rain, R-E-I-N. The Walking Dead, Anointed True Prophet of God, and then 777. The lynx came up, and the lynx was originally a tiger, not a lynx. Lynx is white, light, and bright, and the tiger is the arrow, the pointed arrow, the leopard, the servant who rides with their master. A kind of growl or screech, there's the screech again, after cheering. So a positive screech. The moth, the beetle, the butterfly comes up here with 3 Austrian species of black and yellow striped dragonflies. And final shouted phrase here, as well as Lucas coming up here. And the final shouted phrase, like the cheerleader, with outstretched arms. But when they stated outstretched arms, I was getting like one of my great nephews, because we have so many kids in our family being pumped out right now. But when I met Lucas, he just had that smile energy, and he reached his arms straight out in front of him towards me, like he was funneling energy to me. And I've never seen a child do that before. And that's the energy I was just getting right there. The tiger becomes the lynx, a higher octave of the arrow, the point, the screech, with bright light, which is also the ash, the AE. The moth, the butterflies, the dragonflies, and the beetles. 7 ones and 1 Elohim in the lambda leap. The 111, 1, and then the slash through to make 5, plus 3 ones, which is co-creation, of a perfected Set. And here Seth was coming up. And Seth, that's so funny because Lucas's father is Seth. How crazy is that? I didn't notice that till now. So Bene Elohim is also the children of Elohim, the children of Seth. And 1057 is that Wheel of Fortune and the 3 of Swords. Very interesting. And that's my niece Danielle as well. So 1057 is the Wheel of Fortune, 3 of Swords, the underlying energy of the 59 of the Temple, the 53 of codependency, the 25 of keeping your dreams alive, and 18 of the Eyes of the Eagle. In the 11th hour at Lady Liberty, as Ellis pulls closer in, and again I went through this, BLISS versus GELIS, so BLIS versus GELIS. To be Ellis or to energize Ellis, and which one do you want to be? And there's nothing wrong with either one of them. They're just two different positions, two different perhaps missions for you. To be Ellis, or the masculine energy, or to energize Ellis. Transition or the whispering bench with Source direct. So again, two different ways of doing work in the Ascension. The etheric altar that's above her flame at the Statue of Liberty, that which is lit by her name. Liberty, Li, L-I-B, and then R-T-Y. The Elohim chakra system, be urgent gratitude, liberal in gratitude, as the angels gather at the foot of Liberty to receive mothership from the Pleiades, as their relatives are flying in to see them from a great distance. The temple, the pantheon, the Parthenon's been coming up a lot. I think I meant to write Parthenon there. And anyway, the Greek Parthenon, the congregation, the orchestra, Athena, the goddess of wisdom. Strategic warfare was her specialty, of arts and crafts and weaving, with the daughter of Zeus. Hey, Zeus! As Metis, M-E-T-I-S, is also me, Source Sophia, the salt of the earth, and sulfur, not of the earth, but released. The Knight of Swords, if not the Wounded Warrior, 35, must speak their truth, or their roots of the Taurus, which Taurus was coming up as the trigger to Taurus here, or toes are us, or twos are us. Athena was coming up with Ayin, so A-Y-E-N-E, which means of others, belonging to someone else. So toes are us is coming up from Taurus, speaking the truth of their roots, of toes are us, or twos are us. Your toes and my toes is mitosis. And erotos also came up here, which is love and desire. And also E-O-R-T-H-E as earth. There's many ways of spelling earth. Love for earth as in A-E-R-T-H, the new way of spelling earth, or bright light of Ruth, which is regret and compassion. The two, T-O, which is the sago tree, S-A-G-O. The union tree, the tone or shade. The two, the antelope, the ear, the father-in-law, mountain, to crush, pound, Thursday, ever mine, ever thine, ever ours. In the language, the city, the arrange, body of water, the eye, to make something go up. The toe, as in your foot. The one of two, the fabric, nature, ability, besides, this and that, body hair, big, large, great land, roof to gossip, to be enough, worthy, sufficient, to reach up, to be visible, you. And all of this was coming up from your toes and my toes, which is mitosis, of course, the splitting of the cells. And then, of course, you heard ever mine, ever thine, ever ours, which comes up from Beethoven's love letters of great men. And it was coming up, the name Beethoven, as beeth the venerable human. Good morning, and guess what day his letter was written? As I told you about 777 coming up as the big Valentine's Day, since it's 777s this year. Well, Beethoven's letter was written on 7/7, July 7th. And though still in bed, my thoughts go out to you, my immortal beloved, now and then, joyfully, and then sadly, waiting to learn whether or not fate will hear us. I can live only wholly with you or not at all. Yes, I am resolved to wander so long away from until I can fly into your arms and say that I am really at home with you. Can send my soul enwrapped in you into the land of spirits. Yes, unhappily it must be so. You will be the more contained, since you know my fidelity to you. No one else can ever possess my heart. Never, never. O God, why must one be parted from one whom one so loves, and yet my life in thee is now a wretched life. Your love makes me at once the happiest and the unhappiest of men. At my age, I need a steady, quiet life. Can that be so in our connection? My angel, I have just been told, and that was at 11:32, which is justice and alignment and the journey. I have just been told the mail coach goes every day. Therefore, I must close at once so that you may receive the letter at once. Be calm. Only by a calm consideration of our existence can we achieve our purpose to live together. Be calm. Love me. Today, yesterday, what tearful longings for you. You, my life, my all. Farewell. Oh, continue to love me. Never misjudge the most faithful heart of your beloved. Ever thine, ever mine, ever ours, which was found in his desk after he died unaddressed, from romanceclass.com. And that was at 11:36, which is again the justice and alignment of Atlas, the Ten of Wands, the weight of the world. The temple within, the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands. The key at the root, as the tree collapses in upon itself, top down, imploding as the key to freedom to rebuild, with kisses from beyond to keep your dreams alive. As the eagle's eyes fully open, rising above the fray, taking responsibility for having taken the wrong babies or twin, killing one and then raising the other as their own. The war within at the root of the family tree, the sago tree, or the word two, T-O, the union of the human embodiment of Source, as Pleiadian or blue baby who blows a kiss that the eagle's eye could never miss. Romance of the salt of the earth and fresh skies, salt and fresh waters then become one, full of fire, fanning the flame at 11:45, which is actually the time of my birth. Alignment with the 45, which is the purge, the 5 of Cups. Lady Liberty at her post, and Eagle at his, two trees that came together through the little ones to help them remember who they are. The underlying energy of the 64 in sensual awakening, the 60 of riding the cosmic wave, two swans piggyback leading Titanic, the 39 of the Knight of Cups and letting the feminine lead the way, experienced at snake wrangling, and the 62 of the choice to release at the 11th hour, the 59, the numbers of the cards came up here, 59, 60, 39, 62, and 59. And it's like, where's 61? Because it went from 59 to 60 and 62. And then the number between 39 and 59 would be 49. So 61 and 49 were missing here. And then we went to 99, adding those numbers, 161 and then 220. In the peace of the Knight of Cups, in choosing the temple path, those who congregate at the foot of liberty for anointing of the feet. And I'm getting defeat as well. And again, allowing your defeat, right? The fall, the surrender. 4 cards are missing here, the 61 and the 49, which are 110, of Source alignment with 99 compassion. And again, the agent or a gentleman, 99 compassion, and 161 of bookends, and the lovers in the middle, which equal 220, which is Source energy backing up the 22 of the 5D station for the Fool's Leap with an open heart. At 11:58, the alignment of the 4 of Swords and that 5D connection, and the 50 of the cloak of the family happiness, the 70 of heaven projected in a performance from the family, the 56 of the dance of the planets, and knowing hand in hand through it all the chaos and the peace that all is well. The 28 of the sacred convergence of the twin flames in a performance of a lifetime. Hanger on ice. As ice pop rises, igloo on ice. The icy bridge that runs through it. The river. Disney on ice. Dizzying spins and the Arc de Triomphe. As 59, 28 are 87, which is the reflection of 78, or that energy of heaven on earth, in the quiet after the storm reflecting before. A private temple ceremony and celebration at the sacred convergence, post-war within. A moment alone to reflect on family happiness, and projecting heaven in a theater near you, as the sun illuminates Pleiadian pairs, two as one in the cyclone and the vortex, the sacred convergence here. And remember, you are the children of the Pleiadians. The 12-17 energy of underlying energy here, the 8 of the dance of leadership with flame in hand, and 3 keys and the ring, spiraling up in 3 leaps in evolution. The 40 of the Page of Cups, birthing the new heart, the sweet heart, as the 33 bridge leads to the golden gates, an invitation of 2 wings, 2 pillars, and 2 flames, burning into love. The cherubim helping to bridge the messengers of truth. The Page of Cups standing up to the Knight of Swords to collapse the tree, causing the King of Wands to lose his balance and sucked into all of this, with time alone to find balance again for family happiness. As the 10 and the 7 are the new dawn and the water, the destined chariot in the valley of the sun, trail, and phased array. Welcome back to the chariot, the dolphin, water, and emotional well-being. Feels very much like Lemuria. And the icosahedron, where icosa means I matter, and thus cannot live on land alone. Sun's rays emanate up and out, but etheric rays are AERTH, earth direct, and those rays infuse the waters and crystals of the 20 of creating prisms at delta dawn. The triangle of the delta, the change of 2 as 1, the 2 dots to 1 dot. The single file, where salt water meets the fresh and becomes one. The confluence of the Salt River and the Verde River came up in Arizona. From Tonto National Forest, A2, I think it says, 33 degrees north, or 32.812, and 111 west, which I just told you that 111 is co-creation, which is 39.636 here. All right, so 33 degrees plus 32.812, and then 111 degrees west, 39.636. Far East Valley of the Phoenix area. Verde, which means green, young, and from the north. Salt, which is older, from the northeast. And the salt goes over the bedrock, forces it north to meet the Verde. And this was coming up from Phoenix Salt River, whoi.edu. So the estuary, or where the salt sea meets the fresh river, is important to restore. The light energy of the fresh water goes to the top, where the heavy salt water pushes through the bottom and creates swirling underneath when they're opposing streams, like when the ocean comes into the more calm river. The fresh Gila River and the Salt River, which is about 200 miles, leaves the White Mountains. The salt cedar trees are the reason for the salt. They were transplanted there to support the riverbanks. The leaves from the trees would then fall into the water and making it salty on a regular basis. The Salt River, from Wikipedia here, flows with large salt deposits after merging of the White and Black rivers in the White Mountains. The Salt and the Black River forms a boundary between Fort Apache Reservation north and San Carlos Apache Reservation south, which flows west and southwest through the Salt River Canyon, leaving the mountains near Mesa with 4 dams and reservoirs, and then Verde joins from the north. Now, mind you, I used to live in Mesa, Arizona. So the Knight of Swords and the King of Wands are destined water, where the salt and the Verde, or green, fresh, pale, or unripe meat. And notice that the fourth horse is noted as green or pale. So here's that Verde river, the fresh river, where the salt and the fresh meat. With one card of the 24, the orange Queen of Wands, with strength in stretching and lunging to release the fire buildup to the icy places, releasing her extra fire to places who need it, diverting flow of energy, heating up the underground waters that don't ice over, or live aid also coming up here. The energy of the four queens were coming up here as the Queen of Cups, love, the Queen of Swords, liberty, the Queen of Wands, omega, or light, and the Queen of Pentacles, golden gate, of compassion and gratitude. The King of Wands sucked into the Knight of Swords and family business as the Queen of Wands pushes her energy north. He pulled into the tree, she pushes into the water systems. As the waters heat up from the etheric rays beaming in. So again, remembering the sun, these new rays coming in and beaming in into the water, breaking through the crystals in the water. As the Queen of Wands pushes her energy north, he pulls the energy into the tree and she pushes it into the water systems. As the waters heat up from the etheric rays beaming in. The underlying energy of the 36 intuition, 38 acceptance of love at 107, the Magician and the Chariot, the 14 of assurance, 4 of the pause, 5 of clearing out the old, 8 of the breakthrough, and 25 of keeping your dreams alive. So Atlas and Esther Williams light up as the Queen of Cups accepts love, patient angel, and Continental came up right there as well, and patience with a higher love. The Queen of Cups angel checks in at the tree, or the Emperor and the Hierophant, the master of the hidden house, to clear out the old. In a breakthrough dance of the butterflies, leap into the ocean with strength of the Knight of Wands to keep the fire going. The 23 then, first card out here, is you are worth it, King of Wands, your vision of what's to come. And the 15 to catch your breath at the tree with shade, to hug and then stabilize. With the 9 of the Hermit as they paint the perfect setting for you, and then one card at the end of the 49 of heightening your vitality of your mandala with brilliant colors to get your wish. The underlying energy of the 36 of lost in space and needing direction, the 26 of the gathering around of the Page of Wands and the power of community, the 17 of the Eye of the Needle and the intent of dreams, as the cave in Atlas with the Page of Wands, who's inspired to find 17 and 18, or stars in the moon. And by the way, my brother's birthday and mine are a day apart, 17th and 18th. Or stars in the moon, healing and romance in the squinty eye and in the wide open eye. The two perspectives, channeled and rounded. The Eye of the Needle and the Eagle and the legal eagles. At 119 of the Magician and the Sun, the Divine Masculine and the Sun, the 59 of the Wailing Tree in the reconciling of differences, the inner war of the King of Wands, +2 and the family, the 50 of the Spirit of the River and the 10 of Cups, and the Angel Fish, or is that jellyfish, and a movement towards adventure, where adventure is Advent, that you are. Advent by practice. The eye, the foot, fire, and the hour of coordination. The breast, the penis, the valley of labor, or the ox, which is also kisses and hugs, and the second coming that you are. Merlin, 1 equals, and congruent 2, 2. The 6 of the cosmic womb, or the divine feminine, and the one card at the end here, which is the 25, the Knight of Wands, in the Garden of Venus for rest and renewal. Romancing the subconscious. Romancing the stone, ST, and 1, the path of 1. The 41, 20, and 22 of the Ace of Cups, Judgment, and the Fool, where the Fool leaps back to announce they're in love. Superfly bites the bullet and leaps cannonball style at 128, the Masculine Magician and the Twin Flames. from orange supergiant to moon maiden, transmuting pain for new beginnings in a feast of plenty or drink for two, two swords in the stone, the crystal or crystals. So literally crystal is coming up there. The crystal or crystale, and be mine, ever thine, ever ours, at 131. The 3 between the 2 ones of creation. So I have the next message here, starting out with the, sorry about all my prints on there. We have the past life deck, and then we have the combined decks of Lenormand, Reverie, and Kipper, and then the tea leaves, and then the Wild Unknown guidebook, and then the Rider-Waite full deck. And again, pulled out the same way, underlying energies on the left, 3 cards, and then the cards that want to come out to finish the story, and for numerology. Let's see if I can get that a little clearer. Okay. All right, so when I woke up this morning here, just prior to doing this next message that I just showed you, I woke up staring at my laundry that was folded on my bureau. And I saw my mother's face looking out of it. But then when I went to try to capture a picture of it, I wasn't getting my mother's face, but I did get 2 pictures. I put them all on Instagram, but I may post one for this video as well. But one was just in bed, basically looking at myself, because the way I was lying on my side, looking at my laundry pile, there was someone in my laundry pile looking back at me. And then there was the other one under the covers, and then the third one was a Maharaji. It was like a childlike Maharaji. It was really cool. And that was at 9:11 when I woke, and then 10:19 I'd gotten up that morning, which is the sun, the Wheel of Fortune of the sun. So I'd pulled a couple fortune cards, which was Judgment and the Thorns, 14 and 31, with the Clover of Luck, the Coins and Golds, and the 13, the Lucky Fortune, Dust and Fire to let go of emotional upheaval, waxing towards this full moon on the 3rd. The moon again that moon card came up with the 2 stars around it, the 21, which is whole and complete, of romance in the stars, and 18 of lovers and the romance of lovers, with 2 paths ahead and to be true to yourself. The cards that I just showed you were pulled from 11:11 to 11:14. And I did pull a card from the Ascension deck too, and the Archangel Retreats came up, as well as the Amethyst Skull and Fire, 50, 21, and 13. So the 12 tribes were coming up with the Amethyst Skull, and then, be more present to what you're eating as far as food with the fire. And then Michael and Raphael were coming up as in the Archangel Retreat specifically for me there. The 50, of course, is the 10 of Cups and that emotional fulfillment of the family. The energy of the piles at the end of each deck were coming up with 2, 1, 1, 1, 4, and then 4, 5, 4, 2, 2, 0. The messages from those numbers were coming up as, I was just getting Valentine's Day as well, but the co-creation of the High Priestess and the Emperor and the Hierophant and the 2 of Cups, partners with the High Priestess or higher self supported by Source. Whole and complete, 11 and 44, which is that energy basically from 3D to 60. 3D, so like 30 to 60 as well. The Page of Swords and the 22 of the 5D station and the Fool's Journey, and the 0, which then I was getting, so whenever you use power numbers like 11, 44, and 22, you activate all 4, 11, 22, 33, and 44, and of course 33 is the Christ vibration, which is being shown as automatically activated here. The lesson is complete. The messenger, the fool, source embodiment. The world leaps to a higher love for Mercury, 2 messengers of divine feminine source. And it was at 1122, which is actually one of the license plates I saw today. So 11 and 22 for me are not only justice and the fool, but they also reference the 22 5D station, which is a jump off point to any other dimension, and then the 11 of 60, which is instant manifestation. And the mailman came right there. The underlying energy of galactic, the 9 of the Queen of Swords and flowers. Boots constellation came up here, as well as Italy. Spider and the 10 of Pentacles reversed. Gamma lactic, the angel's court of the inner child. Icy and 99, eye and wedge. The galactic is the gal cattle drive. Or card. It's cattle drive performance, behavior, 120 Roman feet, or an act here. The gal act of the inner child, being chilly, but not as in mean, but etheric, chilly, and compassionate. The Queen of Swords hermit with flowers or delivery. And the energy of lambda, the L of lambda, which is the 11th Greek letter. And it's numbered as 30, which is the union energy. At 11:53, a helicopter came so close to my house it shook my front window. And again, L was coming up here, the Elohim, and the L of lambda leap, the Greek of 11th letter, and the 30 of the union. And then Omega was coming up here too. Again, just the Greek letters in general coming up there. But the Gamma constellation, the rays that look like etheric clouds now that I see. So when I look at the clouds and I send out messages from that, that's kind of the energy that we're talking about here. It's like, you know, seeing the mist in the air, being able to see things in that mist. So again, projecting etheric bodies or beings who are not from this dimension so that we can see them, right? Because on a clear night, when I go to graveyards or ghost tours with my son, because he really likes them, I never take pictures that are clear. I always take the ones that aren't clear, because those are the ones you're actually going to see something in. The gamma rays and the gamma Andromeda here, and again the energy of Rome in Andromeda. The Andromedae is the third brightest in Andromeda, and the nickname is Andy, which is 350 light years and drifting closer to the sun. And this was from NASA Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland. So there's that green coming up again. The Gamma Ray constellation tie into firm science. Gamma Ray constellation. At 12:04, right then, the helicopter came again, really close to my house at 12:04. Not as much as the first one, but the 12 and the 4 is the hanging man and the emperor, or that lambda leap of the masculine and feminine. And Gamma Cassiopeia also came up, which is 35 degrees north. And again, remember Cassiopeia is that W type symbol. Norma came up there. The level. And Gamma 2 Normae, magnitude 4.02. And also Craterus, the cup came up as well. And all of the Gamma stars, again, were coming up here. Gamma Aritis and Aries, binary to possibly trinary there. And then Yahoo.com on June 28, 73, from the New York Times, around the year 2000, the Earth's spin started to change, wandering south. Suddenly there was a sharp turn east, and they discovered that was the melting caps, and again the energy of the mass distribution around the Earth causing the axis to spin. And pumping water out of the ground as well for crops and households was also causing a transfer of weight around the Earth. The Earth wobbles like a poorly thrown frisbee because it bulges at the equator, and air masses that are constantly swirling, and water that's constantly slushing in the ocean, and ice sheets that are rebounding like a mattress without its sleeper on it, you know, plumping back up again. So the galactic gift here, and Gamma Boots was coming up. And boots looks like a kite, or here it looks like an exclamation mark. And again, that's Arcturus. Next to the west of Big Dipper, or Ursa Major, and northeast of Hydra's head, and Hercules being northwest in the picture that I was looking at anyway. So Seginus, Seginus, which is also spelled with a C, is the left shoulder of the herdsman, with a white hue and 3.03 magnitude, 85 light years, and drifting closer, and that's again much closer than some of the other ones. And again, a pair. It's Chiguius, it's Cheguius, or the Gius, Guius. And I was breaking it down to CHI and genius, that Chi genius. Also BEC with an accent, VAR with accents on it. Al Haris, Al Sama with the guard of the north. And again, there's the Chinese translation and name here as well, which means to beckon, excite, or move, or act. And the lion kept coming up, which is time to act. So Seginus, Seginus, means see God in us at 1225. So little gamma 9, which is notated IC99, which IC for me is the inner child. It's also informed consent. But the Queen of Swords, galactic gift of the boot and the efforts of acting, the galactic, the gal act of the inner child, the icy agent 99 I am, the wedge of the W and little omega of Cassiopeia, and the edge, the ed energy, ED, the mother and daughter gift to the herdsman, or is that to Italy? Of Mother Andy coming up here with Cassiopeia and Andromeda. Italy is I tally. And literally the cards then came up, a gift from the stars, which is Elena Danon's book. But the cards were literally that, a gift from the stars. Looking at the boot, an earlier card that I'd seen, which always calls me to open a book, to get a message at 12:32. So get this, guys. I'm being guided to these constellations, and I get to boots, which could be Italy or the constellation, and then I'm told to open a book. So I open Elena's book, because it's a gift from the stars, and I opened the page right to the page of boots. It was page 94, and I just told you that 9 and 4 keep coming up. Titled Boots, Arcturus, Oharon, and this is from Elena's book, GILDED and Nulin. So the Uhoran is the 9th density, and then the other two are 7th density beings. The blue O'Hara rotates around the red giant Arcturus. 36 light years, one of the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy, into the 7th and 9th densities, and can manifest into the 3D, but mainly exist in the etheric state. And of course, they're a member of the Galactic Federation of Worlds. They're very wise elders of light, leaders and transform matter and light. And this energy is above meditation. It's above meditation she's calling as attuning spiritually, or in a spiritual routine. Morality, objectivity, and justice. They do not eat unless they're in 3D and ingest energy from the nervous system. And that, has I also told you, keeps coming up, the nervous system, and how much strength that can be taken from the nervous system, and can assimilate into 100 times faster, sleeping few but very regularly for short periods. Guardians and protectors of higher consciousness, able to anchor source directly and consciously, always allowing free will, and to educate those on the ascension path and defend Terra from reptilian and gray agendas. They have bases here in the mountains in nearly every country, and 3 bases on its moon. One of the bases is they have that base, the President's Base in Lower Pennsylvania. I think, well, there's some dark energies there too, but that's been coming up recently too. The ships are the finest in the galaxy, propelled by crystals, conducting light energy from source in the core of the galaxy, huge and spherical, vibrantly white, and looking ethereal or transparent for you, and can travel through time. They also have small shuttlecrafts that are spherical or probes to shift magnetic points. 7 grids or Terra to... Is that what I wrote? Terra to elevate to 5D as fast as possible. Vaporizing module can instantly dematerialize, and a life form that has died can be rematerialized anytime by the consulting ship's records. So in other words, we can be healed there while we're sleeping, but only by free will. On page 99 was El Faf also came up as a peaceful group of beings that are miners, so it's more mining energy than anything like abduction or anything like that. The El Faf, it's like elf and then FAF. And again, we were just talking about the Arcturians. And actually, when I first awakened, that's the first beings I was seeing, them all around watching me when I was meditating, was the Arcturians. What else did I want to tell you? Oh, about the materialization too. And I have a first-hand experience with materialization proof because my husband was present at a materialization in Italy with, all the elites and religious people who were doing an experiment, and he just happened to be there because one of the men he knew needed a ride there. So, and they had a man, and he didn't have a shirt on. They had all the electrodes hooked up, and he was going to materialize something in his hand, and he did, and it ended up being a gift for my ex. So there's a whole book written about it, and he had the rabbit's head that was actually materialized. So it's not something new, right? They've known about it for a long time. The energy of, let's see, page 100, the Carina, they have a base in Massachusetts. And their ships are shiny chrome. And again, Enki was coming up as half goat and half fish, or Capricornian energy. And the bat also came up as the boot in poor condition or made badly. So bat, as in bot or Batman, is a boot that's poorly made or in poor condition. The gift from the stars boots spider web with the 10 of Pentacles reversed, negative beings as well. Guardian, quote-unquote, spiders in the center of the web holding down the fort as the Uhoran, or the 9D Arcturians, holding down the fort with the 10 of Pentacles reversed, dysfunction or loss, and again dealing with the reptilian energies or the dark agendas, ascending Terra to heaven on earth. So then back to the cards of the past life deck were Persecution and Inquisition at 1254, which is the Hanging Man and the Page of Sword. And when I looked at my birth, I've looked at my birth chart, many times, but I was looking it up to see a certain number. And I noticed the time of my birth, which I never noticed before because I was born at midnight. And I always use 44 because that's my life lesson number, although I think my birth certificate says 1145. But 1145 is 2345, which is 2345. I never noticed that before. So you always see something from a new perspective. Persecution and Inquisition of the High Priestess here, of Egypt and the etheric clouds of the archangels. I was also getting like the 2 mountains next to each other, or the 2 rockets going off next side by side, and then referencing the 2 pyramids next to each other in Egypt. But there is coming up as a reflection of this above the pyramids, with authority figures and wars and battles, sparkly hammers and Confederate flags. And again, the Confederate ship by Jupiter is also being referenced there. And the sword, rifles, you know, I forget what they're called, the swords at the end of the rifles, fighting to claim their territory. Witch trials in Salem, Massachusetts, coming up here. EA with bat or Orifeme, coming up as orphans of galactic origin. The Egyptian Civil War. And the Egoroths were coming up, and you may know that if you watch Elena's channel as Annex, or perhaps her home. The again, the energy of tall, pale, large skull, and very serene wisdom. Etheric and ninth density energy here. There's this energy of the Egyptian Civil War. You know, we always think of our own civil wars. We don't think about civil wars that have happened off planet or in another time, like back in Atlantis. The Ophani was coming up as Ophan, but that was being referenced as the orphan. The wheel-like angels, or way. And Bhat, as in B-H-A-T, is the Brahmin, the breed of cattle from India, with a hump on their shoulder. Transpersonal, personal, and impersonal, all three. The unchanging infinite, I don't know what the next word I wrote, but you get the energy of what they're trying to get across, and transcendental reality, or transcendental reality. Ba, B-A, is the land snail, or air-breathing snail. And there was news that popped up too of giant snails. I forget if it was Florida, somewhere they were talking about giant snails taking over. And Humbugi came up, H-U-M-B-U-G-I. EA, Civil War with Bhat, the Ophan orphans of galactic realm, the orphans of civil wars with no home to go home to, which actually I brought up in a session of my own one time, because I always felt like when I was meditating, I'm just in space and just going and going and going because my planet no longer exists. I felt like my original home was not there anymore. The High Priestess or priest, male, female, back to back, and wounds of being an unaccepted healer versus the mother of children. Galactic versus human or human. Asia versus Celtic, very interesting, and Buddha versus Jesus. Galactic versus human, Neanderthal man. The karmic relationship of wartime and Dove's forgiveness. Warring couples, unable to look each other in the eye, with Asian roots versus Celtic roots. The energy of the blast of versus the whispering bench. So again, the energy of the blast off of the masculine versus the whispering bench energy of the feminine. The High Priestess versus the mother, and the orphans of galactic travel and civil wars, of Atlantis and other planetary destruction. The underlying energy of the power lady that's present with gifts and truth, with light on her face, looking through windows. The 11 of sudden wealth, and that 777 that's coming up, hitting the jackpot, with the 41 of the Ace of Cups and the Holy Grail, with well wishes and happiness, with self-love, and the full house of 11 and 777. The alignment with 777 of 2 and 21, which references 711 as well, aligning with the 777, which is the 3 keys of abundant bliss, and Plymouth Rock, traveling mountains, gifts, and Virgo Queen of Swords, of lady with gifts, Libra, Taurus, and Virgo here, and looking at flowers. And also Pollux and Castor from Gemini were coming up here as well. And the Ophanum came up, but I really wanted to say Orapheme. And if anyone knows of anything about Orapheme, because it's not listed in the dictionary, but Oraphim, it might be spelled differently, but Orapheme. The energy of the 25 at 145 is the Hermit, the Queen of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. The Ace of Wands, a new passion to commit to the Knight of Cups, roll of the die, between the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups. The 18 of the Page of Cups, the romantic pup, and the 10 of Cups family, wanting the official person, or the Fool, to take the lead. 2 knights with gifts, or with Hermit, Queen of Swords, Virgo, Cancer, Aries, perhaps Saggy and Scorpio here. The official Fool for love, and the Queen of Wands, or Cancer, Pup, and Aries, Queen of Wands, or Queen of Wands and Page of Cups, reflecting swans of love. The 18 of the romantic little girl, or Cancer with Bunny, and 34 of the energetic exchange, or Hours of Love, of abundant King of Pentacles, and Fish, or Arrows of Love. And the King of Wands standing up to the rugrats, the pests, the pets, the messes, even perhaps cleaning up his own. Or the Queen of Wands and King of Wands, and 2 romantic pups, with the King of Pentacles between them, with Virgo, Aries, and Saggy, and water signs here. The underlying energy of November torch. There could be illness there as well. After the November torch and spiritual development, 9 embers, ashes, and flames, yoked and tabled, hard work ahead, with rat working behind your back, and vase of a secret admirer. And the energy of the veil is coming through right there too. And boot to increase efforts to achieve your goals. Then the wind chimes of peace and harmony, and copper was coming up. The bridge successfully overcoming a problem. Arcturians clearing the air. With copper bridges and bridging DNA. Galactic bridges versus Bridget. And scissors, or disappointment in some affair. And I was definitely getting Bridget energy with Elena for sure. Cutting cords with injustices, and then the energy of going out with the grapes and having fun, box and treasure chest that you will receive a gift, the dog close up with pleasure, and pleasure with a close friend, or funneling frustrations and lessons to be learned here at 202, or 2 feminine energies, or 2 higher selves with space between. The underlying energy of the wolf, the swans, the dragonfly, the crocodile and the spider, or tarantula rather, the camel and the fox and the spider web as well, the Italian wolf, or dog from Boots. The swans reflect 2 hearts as one, with the crocodile laying in wait, but the tarantula is in charge, as the blue camel, or Came El, the Elohim, and fox watch, which is the digamma, kisses and hugs of the twin flames, as the spider sets their trap for that crocodile, or then came El and fox web. The lamb targeted the turtle who's slow. The lamb is targeted, but they're listening, as the turtle is slow, with the unicorn watching out for them, with the little one, healthy intestines, or the white horse, or Mr. Ed with beaver, both focused here and paying attention. Hard workers enjoying what they do. Oh, what a sticky web we weave. On the lamb in a traffic jam, telling the unicorn or etheric gate holder to go around them, when the unicorn is there to save them from the dark. No man left behind, come along, little turtle, with the other little ones, as the horse and beaver wait at the campsite or base in the woods or the mountains, and the bunny who's scared left alone with the golden egg and told to watch it. Or watching dinner. Make sure you watch the dinner, doesn't get burned. Or the dog watching the nest, but is afraid when it storms. They're just still a young pup. They're still young, you know. So at 222, and again the guidance counselor show, room 222, looking back at a falling out, and now the 9 of Pentacles sovereign is on a quest for the impossible dream. Ordering to play, To play with the Page of Cups reversed who feels down or without a need to spend a lot, or the Nine of Pentacles sovereign fighting the urge to withhold from the Page of Cups reversed post-war, or in PTSD and still trying to hide from a hit and run, the war that still lingers. Breaking patterns and dropping the facade with new information that knocks them off balance when working too much, overwhelmed and pushed to their emotional limit or triggered, ending pain or in a painful end, or getting a message or massage and committed to slow down or relaxing on visit. Defenseless to moving, traveling, or home, or instability of the home or things to do once you get there. But success is here with good news, attention, good reputation and leading the way. To the Page of Swords reversed who's frustrated, in a wake-up call, the synchronicities or choices, or heaven in their eyes. Confusion and or delusion, unable to find gratitude in what's being handed to them. After a sudden event or drama and resisting sudden changes, the Page of Pentacles invite to let go a bit perhaps. Fixing things up or to make amends, or just let go a bit with the Queen of Cups to release thoughts and anxieties as the King of Pentacles humbles themselves. The King of Pentacles admiring the Queen of Swords, perhaps a Gemini or Virgo, for manifesting their DNA, laying their cards out or all their tools on the table, in disconnect or distance and yet happy with themselves, left out in the cold or behind. At the new moon, or to get up really early or going to bed too late, or deceived by the Page of Wands reversed, or Cancer with fire who thinks it's unfair, wanting the Queen of Pentacles to take them for a walk. As the Dark Knight or Scorpio heals and finds dreams, as the King of Cups, or as the Queen of Pentacles transforms, the King of Cups dreams of no movement, or just being still, implementing a plan to dump all their burdens and responsibilities and let someone else drive. Stressed out with the Knight of Wands reversed, falling short, or with an injury and having trouble working out, as the Knight of Swords rushes in to remind them to rest their body and heal. Patience, my dear one, as the Knight of Pentacles reversed is unable to function, and the Knight of Cups reversed is feeling moody, jealous, or rejected. All four knights are right here, as the White Knight takes down the red, black, and pale, as the Emperor notices and surrenders to free themselves from the Ten of Pentacles reversed family at 242, the energy of the feminine or higher self, and the Two of Cups. The Two of Wands, Twin Flames, the Ten of Cups reversed, and Justice reversed, as the High Priestess with the Knight of Wands and Knight of Cups both reversed, and the Little Lamb offering an option to make them feel better, ending an emotional cycle of injustice. Perhaps weakened, hanging out with the Empress reversed and having fun, the Hermit is upright with the World and the Queen of Wands reversed. Libra and Leo reversed with Pisces, Capricorn, Virgo, Pisces upright, and Taurus reversed, as the Queen of Wands reversed is detoxing with the King of Wands reversed in the Sun, perhaps taking a walk or getting up early to have their day in the sun. Awake or rising above, the Lovers reversed, the Three of Pentacles reversed, without affection, or this could be the ex with issues at work or who's off, in need of peaceful travel or thoughts, by presenting the truth about a separation, a heartbreak, or disappointment with a secret passion, and walking away from a heated exchange with the King of Swords, or just delays after delays, with Capricorn, Gemini, and Pisces reversed, but Leo upright here. The Queen of Wands, the King of Wands, and the King of Swords, who is upright, but the Wands are reversed. The Ten of Pentacles and Ten of Cups are also reversed, where the Ten of Cups is giving the Ten of Pentacles a choice or ultimatum, or twin flames between them, in injustice, inequity, or caught up in family wars or divorce. As the Page and the Empress reversed are happy to hang out together. There could be Leo and Taurus reversed there. And reverse can mean that they have it in their chart, but it's not their sun or rising sign. Hermit or Virgo is giving advice or shedding lots of light, coming full circle or around the world or neighborhood. Perhaps Pisces, Queen of Wands reversed, and Leo, King of Wands reversed, is unable to sleep or awakening to their differences. perhaps supposed to visit the King of Swords with Gemini or Libra in their chart. Could be a Virgo as well at 256. Okay. So the perfect fine came up, but also I was doing some scribing here. And the energy of Filipino and tanned skin kept coming up over and over, Mr. Sun. But also mRNA came up as well, which is the messenger RNA. Thin, lean, bad, poor. Multimedia messaging service, so MMS. And Murano was coming up, like Murano glass. The Moor, which were the dark-haired, dark-skinned, brunette energies, were coming up, as well as the needle. The needle, the noodle, the woodland or grove, to bite or encroach. The tongue as well came up. The tongue to bite, immorality, Miss Moral or Morale, and Monsieur is also coming up, so something French. Tongue to bite by immoral Monsieur, where Ms is Ms. Moral. That was coming up. And again, Filipinos came up multiple times. And then I was watching a movie where Magellan died in the Filipinos. Literally, they stated that in the movie. And again, the quest for gold, which was also kept coming up. And Uncharted was the movie that came up there. And again, when Columbus came to America, I think they were talking about, they went to the Philippines, but then they hid the gold in Barcelona, which was what the movie was about. So then we get to, let's see what we have here. Okay, now we have the tea leaves here. All right, so we have, it's 122 on the dot, right there, 122.01. Have the tea leaves up top, then the energy deck, and then my new deck that I bought. I went to New Hope, and that's always a nice drive. But I got that, it's an Egyptian deck, and then I have the Wild Unknown guidebook, and then my Rider full deck at the bottom there. So I'll pull it up close again so you can see. Okay. Trying to figure out what those two blue dots were. That was part of the phone. But I don't know why they came up. That was weird. Okay. So these were all pulled 933 to 938. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So it's the wands. 33 is the 7 of wands, 8 of wands, 9 of wands, 10 of wands, and then the 37, 38, which is the King and Queen of Cups. The numbers at the end of these decks came up as 111121, and then 685131107. And then Pinocchio came up, and Pinot is big bird. It also means fine, smooth bloke. Pine and pine tree, stack, steep, shaft, pin, zenith, and woman. And then Kyo in Pinocchio. Kyo means to squeak, tweet, or complain, but also CCHIU, which means more. So that was also coming up here. The twin flame world, divine feminine, divine masculine, twin flames complete. As the Page of Pentacles and the King of Swords, arrows or wood, becomes human. The embodiment of Source, chariot, and a real boy, Big Bird, and the zenith, which is that direct path, the highest point, state, or peak, the moment, the woman. It's like the energy was coming up as the woman plus or the pine tree plus. 1 year, 1 month, 1 day, 1 hour, where 888 is complete. So again, I keep telling you, there's this energy again of the 1 year, 1 month, 1 day, 1 hour is 777 to 888 complete. And I always talk about triple eights being the twin flames in union as the 2 8s are knocked over into the infinity symbol. The Lover's Dance, the Master of the Hidden House, 1 plus 1 equals 3, which just came up a little while ago, of the 2 ones on as the pillars with the 3 in the middle. Transitioning to leap with the chariot leaving space between. This was after Pinocchio's feet were burnt off. And we were talking about toes earlier. 11, 11 to 1. And the 68, which between the 6 and 8 is the 7. Of 11, 11 to 17, or 7 days of Scorpio, which in the 13-month realm is actually November 23rd to 29. And Ophiuchus would then be 11/29 to 12/17. As the King of Swords, Libra or Virgo energies there, in pursuit of the impossible dream, which comes up as Scorpio, and then Sagittarius with the space chariot. So the King of Swords was coming up as that Libra Virgo, which is the midpoint in the cycle. The Libra Virgo cycle in pursuit of the Scorpio impossible dream with the Sagittarius space chariot. And then at 10:08 I started this message, which is that Chi energy as well, of the 8th and 10th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. So Candle and August came up, as well as the 23 of all tied up, the Ace of Cups, the Peacock, the Nine of Wands reversed, that you will be shown the way in August. The King of Wands all tied up with new love and self-love and spiritual love. The pretty Peacock and the Wounded Warrior reversed surrenders. At 10:10, the dogs barking with advice, or perhaps their feet hurt. In a dog's gathering with the lion, triggering a time to act, that you'll be shown the way in August. 2 dogs in 1, unsure where the barking is coming from. July 1st and then July 4th, and Lionsgate with candles lit to light the path. Okay, so today is July 1st, rather, which was coming up here when I wrote this. 2 dogs in 1, unsure where the barking is coming from. July 1st, then July 4th, and Lionsgate with candle lit to light the path. At 10:14, the Wheel of Fortune and the Temperance card, which is also the Alchemist, the Spear of Rainbow and the Wishbone, like a spear in the heart, Sophia's pear, the Rainbow Bridge, the light at the end of the tunnel, a wish granted, with a bouquet, the bear, finger, and sunrise, and flowers in the 4-leaf clover, compliments from an admirer, bear warning and pointing in the direction of the sunrise, to flowers and happiness and great fortune and luck, as the underlying energy at 10:20 of the Wheel of Fortune and the Judgment card is the apple of temptation and enemies working against you, the serpent and the bat, May, weeping willow, sorrow, August, the gold rush and flame in August, the career using the spear to write, and the jug for carefree time, with the bell announcement. And the jug handle was coming up as the highway jug handle. That came up quite a few times, actually. So the career using the spear to write, and again, that energy of the spear in the heart to write from those emotions, and the jug for a carefree time, and the bell for an announcement. The eye of intuition, the grasshopper or glasshopper on the other side of the glass, the delicate guy with great passion that gets him into trouble sometimes, especially, I was just getting Lucy, especially when celebrating with Stein or drinking too much. Coins come and wise advice. Hold on and do not take risks with spiritual love. The claw and the lily then came up with sulfur, brimstone, and lightning. And lie was coming up with sulfur here too. So lie is made from ashes, leaching ashes, from usually wood ashes. And Li is crossbow, to endure, and also the 14 light years shelter came up. Oh, that's Ly. Ly is light year, of course, and then shelter. But sodium hydrochloride. So anyway, the difference between sulfur and lye was coming up, and you know the relationship between sulfur and lye. So I was looking that up, and it comes up mostly in hair color, right? One being more caustic than the other. So lye, if it has lye in it, it's more caustic, but sometimes they work faster or better, and they have to add other products to make it less caustic. But the sulfur is one of the ingredients used if they don't use lye. So then lithium came up again. Or not sulfur, but lithium rather. Lye hair relaxers with sodium hydroxide, or no lye relaxers containing, lithium hydroxide is one of the things. It could be potassium, calcium, guanidine hydroxide, different hydroxides. The best overall was considered one of the no lyes, which was 110 years old, which contains ceramides and coconut oil as the bases, which are good for sensitive scalps. So 11/24/20 was an article about the new gold rush for green lithium, which is very costly to mine environmentally. In 1864, there was a hot spring discovered 450 meters down in the Wheat Cliffords, the world's highest grade of lithium in geothermal waters. A copper mine just outside Red Ruth. Glass bottles immersed their necks in its bubbles, carefully sealed and sent off for testing. And when they came back, they realized 8 to 10 times as much lithium per gallon. But they didn't use it like we use it today. So, it was let go. And then 150 years later now, where it's very much needed, especially for electric cars, in November of 2020, Vulcan Energy Resources announced significant reserves with full-scale production of lithium in 2023 and 24, which is now. And that's coming from the German Rhine Valley. So again, there's going to be a big need for lithium. So the underlying energy here of the High Priestess in the journey, the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel coming up there, and the 41 of the Ace of Cups, 35 of Archangel Michael and the 1st chakra, 18 of anxiety, 27 of walking away, 23 of all tied up. And again, the energy of the 7th chakra to the 1st chakra. So again, going down through the chakra system to the root, and then to come up and blast off all the extraneous which came up in the beginning of the read. She to he, an anxiety of romance, and the Queen's gambit in walking away if wants to play games. The High Priestess and the Wounded Warrior, King of Wands, where the 36 and 20 were coming up as a 2nd chakra, Archangel Ariel, and the dark ones, envy. The King of Wands, Atlas, and a wake-up call to leave the Wounded Warrior's past behind. The 47 of the Thinking Woman with synchronicities and options, and the 48 of the Angel of Balance, walking away and within. The 24, Queen of Wands, with adjacent possibilities, and the 14 of caring connections and a higher love. Aquarius and Sagittarius and Libra, storm warning, destined, with the 50 of emotional fulfillment of the 10 of Cups, and the Angel of Strength, taming the beast, with 5 females and 3 angels, and 2 not so much. As the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, destined lion and their tower, with the underlying energies of the Fool for the Queen of Wands, partners, with the Knight of Swords, bull, Scorpio, masculine, and the Page of Pentacles reversed, Aquarius, female, or Knight of Swords, who cuts the Queen of Cups down, in need of help or uninvited, with Taurus upright, Scorpio reversed, and little Pluto Aquarius back to Capricorn in October 10/10. The 10 of Wands, Atlas Lion, 1 house and 2 roofs, exchanging information or truth for love or kindness, or Capricorn and Cancer there, with the Queen of Wands coming at the Queen of Cups reversed, and the Page of Pentacles reversed may be burdened by the truth of this big love. Oh, give me 1 second. I just want to grab a sip. 7:24 to 25, it just changed on the clock, of the Chariot and the Queen of Wands to the Knight of Wands. As it's 11:35 on my notes, of Justice with the Wounded Warrior, 9 of Wands. Defenseless to the Magician, manifesting a rest or break or a 5D connection with Gemini, Virgo, Cancer, Sagittarius, and Taurus here, and Mercury. With 21, 14, and 3, the World, the Temperance card, or Alchemist, and the Empress, or Leo, Taurus, and Libra, or Pisces, Sag, and Twins. And then the letters were coming up as S, N, and G, which N for me is code for Christ. So it's that Christos, Sophia, and God energy. Complete in a higher love, with the Empress free from the veil, the Alchemist and Isis, offering to pay for synchronicities and dreams, whatever they want. Perhaps buying a new car or a big trip, investing big in Ascension or Cancer, and that's Cancer season right now. The bliss of starting over and a wake-up call to co-create with the Page of Swords, and the 8 with the space between. So it's coming up like a boxed 8 with 2 boxes and space between. The energetic exchange of Libra masculine with sunshine, hand fasting in Leo after Cancer season. So right at noon, the 12 o'clock on the dot with 00, source energy backing up the 1 and the 2 of the masculine feminine, or the hanging man. The energy of the dolphin, who's happy. Dolphin's happy, tiger, shark, hard worker, or tiger stalks beaver, and bunny is nervous about the golden egg. The heart that's short-lived, inspiration, calling the hummingbird in to whisper sweet nothings and clear the air, and digestion for pretty peacock, and a new hat, and Dr. Zeus. And you notice Dr. Zeus is Zeus. Zebra admires sweet little one and baby's breath, or perhaps sweet song, or a squeaky toy, as the wolf is stunned, or listens in amazement, as the bear pushes the frog in the rain to seek the cobra. When the student is ready, the teacher comes, so the frog and the cobra together can peek over the fence. At the oyster, who has their feelers out, to see what Crow and Rocky and the whale are doing. The gatekeeper, the trash eater, and the one who needs a lifeline. As the dragon flies, the hyena is humbled, and the butterfly learns to fly. A big bumble. And doesn't that come up in Rudolph, the bumble? 2 hearts as one, and Dr. I. That was coming up as AHYE. Dr. I, or someone saying that, right? And the butterfly, who's just learning, perhaps a summer school class. We have the P, Zini, which Zini means pupil, so there's that student energy again. Somebody might be wearing wallabies too, and a frock and Crocs, and wailing, oi, a star. At 12:12 of 2 hanging men, and secrets out about a breakup, as the Knight of Wands rushes in to sweep the 9 of Pentacles sovereign off their feet, to start over with the Emperor reversed in a death or ending or stepping down, and the King of Wands upright, ready to receive love and slow down, allow self to be weak, as the King of Pentacles upright, with Leo or Libra in chart, offering love to the King of Wands, both prideful masters, as the King of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, receiving the Knight of Swords delivery, or perhaps fast news of the 10 of Pentacles reversed, where the worst is now over for the Queen of Cups, who's now upright and still in need of peace. Hanging out with the Sun, as the Queen of Swords is energized by ending the war within, by exposing PTSD, in full light seeing the worst fears, that only the Page of Swords, stepping up to the plate about the injustice of the Queen of Pentacles reversed, released from a prison or just released, and the 10 of Cups family is happy to share or settle out at work. Perhaps a marriage for money that's not working out, or options, but no, or out of options, but to let go, to fix things up or make amends, with the Knight of Cups reversed, who may feel unloving and withholding insecurities from the Page of Cups upright, or without the money to pay for all the tools that they need. So the Page of Cups tells the whole story to the Queen of Wands reversed, who's unable to sleep until they're satisfied with the fallen angel, or the Queen of Wands reversed who's pissed off and not sleeping with arrogant fallen angel, or Sagittarius reversed, or one with a temper or no patience, or who walks away and cries. And then free from the Page of Wands reversed, who's unaffected with an open heart by those without an excuse, or not needing one, to dump all their responsibilities and burdens, to be love, as the Six of Cups, soulmates, in a heated exchange over delays, or not telling, in a losing battle, or a sore loser, and coming full circle with the Divine Feminine, Pisces, the world, or their neighbor, to get over any regrets of the juggling act, the performance, the distraction, the drama, after sudden events, and the law or religion, and master of the hidden heart. With Scorpio reversed and Taurus upright, the last few days before their separation, because the North Node is still in Taurus and the South Node in Scorpio. So they're literally listing it as the last few days before their separation, to invest in being still, with no travel, home and up early to clean or come clean about a cry or some kind of deception or sneakiness. Coming clean about dreams of the King of Swords reversed, hung out to dry, and new information, knocking him off balance with Lover or Capricorn upright and Gemini upright in a loveless marriage, and not getting together, but working diligently to surrender. And the wake-up call to recover or be let back in, a place to go, as the King of Cups is upright with unconditional love, and the Six of Wands reversed needing to get back on their horse, the King of Cups upright with patience and love, and will wait until they're done. Detox, disillusionment with the Hermit reversed, or Capricorn and Virgo reversed, letting go of emotional attachments, with the Empress or Taurus both reversed, with dreams dashed and coming out about lack or loss of a pregnancy, and receiving new passion or inspiration at the present, or being more present in the moment, or considering it a gift or relief. So lucky lily, strength of sunshine, butterfly, gift and present here. Lucky lotus, strength and sunshine, and free butterfly, a gift. August flame with the King of Wands, new love with peacock as the wounded warrior surrenders. Empty desk, bored atlas without excuse of an empty house, and zebra announcement. The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and a wake up to envy of the magician and songbird, both coming back in out of the cold. And envy was coming up there as well. Could be Nevada, but it could be other meanings as well. Wish granted with the bell and the angel that gets their wings. The thinking woman with dreams, a 5D connection with Wolf, King of Cups under the radar. Independent young woman who connects with Wolf and the King of Cups in need of some attention. Compliments, intuition, and walking away when complete, where the bear awakens and is sent on their way under the radar. Motivating self and being more present. So I woke up this yesterday morning, and again it was at I was up at 9:18 again, and then at 10:19 was the Fortunes deck. I pulled a card, which started out with the Queen of Wands and patience, slowing down to clear their mind, and the 25 Knight of Wands of the Phoenix to rise. After the Omega, dropping into the root to blast through the system one more time to clear. An energetic exchange of unity and Messier 83, which is it's the southern pinwheel galaxy, but I see it as the two horseshoes hand in hand. Two Omegas hand fasting, 21 and the moon, and the two stars around the moon, the romance of the hourglass filling in. The masculine root becomes the shared divine feminine center, and the feminine crown becomes the divine masculine's heart center, each other's hearts entwined. The phoenix rises through the Messier 83 Hydra to the romance of the two hearts in a sky full of star systems, whole and complete and aligned, with Mars and Venus traveling hand in hand until today, where Venus changes direction. And the moon was between Spica and Antares, or between the sun and Antares, which is Scorpio. So there was definitely that energy. There was a path from the sun of Mars and Venus together towards the moon, towards Antares. And again, we were talking about Arcturus earlier in the message. And Lyra is right there too. So the sun with Venus and Mars traveling from the sun to this moon, which is in, well, I guess it's supposed to be in, what's before? I was getting the energy of the Scorpio and Libra there, but I mean, obviously we're in the full moon will be a Cancer placement, right? So it's Cancer and Capricorn. And then Ophiuchus also came up there. But again, Lyra's in that area as well. But again, ultimately traveling towards Arcturus. And Lynx is there too. And again, Hydra is around there as well. So on June 15, 23, on ustoday.com, they were talking about the planetary parade on Saturday, but this was past already, on one side of the sun at one time. The asteroid size of Brooklyn Bridge to pass near the Earth on Thursday, and June 17, 23, before sunrise peaks. So today the moon was near Antares, earthsky.org. So again, the energy of the sun moving towards the sun's path towards Antares and Scorpio, of Mars and Venus hand in hand, which is then changing today. Traveling together to Regulus as well, and Leo the Lion, from Castor and Pollux of Gemini. Jupiter rises before the sun, Jupiter in Aries, the ram, and Saturn before on dawn below the water jar, asterism, in Aquarius, the water bearer. So there's a lot about the different constellations coming up right there, and the position of the moon, and the energy of the full moon on the 3rd, which actually comes in on the night of July 2nd, the moon in the teapot of the Archer Sagittarius and the asterism there. And then in the 3rd, it's near the teapot, but it's in the teapot on the 2nd. The full moon is 11:39 UTC, which is 7:39 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or daily time, or daylight time. July 1st, the Venus and Mars fall apart as Venus goes back. But Venus again is the star of this year at its best on 777 at 4.7 magnitude. Mars is near Regulus, July 19, 2021, as the moon sweeps by Venus and Mars. And the moon visits Saturn on the 6th, 7th, and 8th. The moon passes Jupiter on July 11th with the glow of Pisces, or not Pisces, but the Pleiades nearby. Maybe there's a connection of Pisces to Pleiades. But, and then 7:13, the bull. And then the Earth is farthest from the sun at 20 UTC on July 6th, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anyway, they're just some of the things that were standing out. And then July 31st, remember, well, 717 is the changing of the guards with the nodes and the moon. And then 731, Jupiter and Mars trine. And again, remember, when the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, and Jupiter conjuncted Mars when Venus started making herself shine back at the end of May. So here, Jupiter and Mars are coming back together in a trine, and on the 28th, Mercury with Regulus. And again, at the 29th to the 30th is Sagittarius and the teapot moon. So again, the sun in Cancer by Lynx, moving with Venus and Mars through the moon and Lyra area to Antares and Scorpio. So again, another thing came up from USA Today, 11/12/21, and it was talking about COVID-19 vax containing Hydra species vulgaris that can infect the human host. And, of course, they were asking, is this true or not? And again, it's a small tentacled freshwater animal, and they were claiming that was a hoax. But again, there's that energy. They are really immortal, these little creatures. in a lab, you know, they could last forever. They keep regenerating themselves. And again, that energy of the Hydra regenerating the heads that get cut off. Hydra is a Greek island, as well as a coin market came up, Hydra coins. And again, the biology of this Hydra that is immortal in the lab environment. It literally renews itself every 20 days. The immortal Hydra, studying their gene expression, biology.ucdavis.edu. And Hydra's 54 degrees north and 83 degrees south. And that was newscientist.com. Also, planetarium.osu.edu came up with Mars and Venus conjunct on July 1st, today, 23. And again, the moon being complete and full. And again, remember the summer triangle is out with Lyra, Vega, Deneb of Cygnus, and Altair with Aquila, which is the eagle. And the moon with 2 stars around it, complete and full, from July 3rd to August 1st. And then, of course, the new moon around 6:21 at the solstice. The proposal 27 of Venus and Mars linking up with 36, or Atlas, at 9/8. So I was looking at the times of the planetary lineups, and so I put it to my birthday, 9/18, which the seconds came up as 36, which is Atlas, which came up right before I did this. Tonight around the world, Atlas, and this was Earth sky, the number 1 abundance of July 1st, 23 in celebration of 1 for all and all for one, July 1st, 23, and the 15 of the shadow, and the energy, and again, today's day is the devil. Today's the 1st, which is the magician, and adds up to the devil, 15. And I went to a gathering today for July 4th weekend. And again, Mars and Venus, where Venus turns around and goes in another direction. And then I go back to 6/25/23 was an article, but then going back to June 15th, 2015, and again, all these 15s coming up, which is the devil, where I reported on 6/25/23 that Hydra 6 destroys U.S. aircraft and Olympus has fallen. The underlying energy of 1 in abundance, the fire 10 and the 15 being key, the owl of 23 and perhaps the owl nebula. I'm not sure exactly where the owl nebula is. I reported that a couple readings ago, but I can't remember. Libra, Capricorn, and the King of Wands, destined to burn through and embrace the renewal of the present, the key to let go of the past, with great wisdom to be found here with the King of Wands, or 2023. The owl, which is the OWL, the human, 2 U's, Elohim, and the right angle. So again, the left and the right coming up. The L is the left, but it's at the right angle, or the angel. And then again, the 8 with the hourglass is coming up again as switch, like the masculine becomes the feminine's heart and the feminine becomes the masculine's heart as they function independently. So then this next read, which starts with the past life deck, and then my combined deck of LENORMAND, REVERIE, and KIPPER, and then the Wild Unknown Animal Guidebook, and then the 4th deck is the Rider Waiteful deck, which you can see there's a lot of extra cards down there. So just closer up a little bit. Okay. Okay, and that's the last one other than the one on the table. Okay, so this was from 1:43 to 1:46. That's 1:54 on the clock. Excuse me. These were pulled 43, 44, 45, 46, which is the 3 of Cups, 4 of Cups, 5 of Cups, and 6 of Cups. The cards at the end of the piles came out to 2121, so 2121, and 521517. So again, there are 2 15s here, because if you put the numbers together, you have 21215, 21, 1, or 215. So there's a lot of different patterns in these numbers. Again, when I looked up gematria for 515 and 151, because they both came up, 515 came up as Babylon, the seal is broken, and numerological. And then the other 151 came up as the boomerang, decoder ID. Excuse me, not the boomerang, but the decoder ID mRNA 2, and then Gods was the third. So of course mRNA is coming up. The boomerang and gamma ray is the key. Two worlds of the Queen of Swords leap to the King of Swords, the Chariot being key, the Divine Feminine and Masculine 2, shadow to shadow, stars as two worlds with the Hierophant, Master of the Hidden House, the third world being the expanding star between them. So I show you that, like the 8 of the Star of Bethlehem, of the double diamond star, that the two coming together creates the bigger third supernova star in the middle. The 212 leap to the 5215 leap to the 7, or the boomerang, the key, the gamma ray. The bookends of the magician, the divine masculine with two females, leap to the two masters of the hidden house, or alchemists around, with the world between them, or again that feminine energy in the middle with both masculine and feminine. The 2 and the 2 with the 1 in the middle, and then the 5 and the 5 with the 21 in the middle. Again, the 8 of the double helix DNA, and again the ribonucleic acid, as well as the deoxy or DNA, ribonucleic acid. And ribo, by the way, means 1,000, and there's that 1,000 suns above the head. And the bookends of the magician, divine masculine with two females, like I said. And then the energy of he with the high priestess on either side, and she with the hierophants on either side. His world, her world, and heaven on earth. Faith, hope, and dreams come true. And our mRNA, which is also Mr. NA, messenger from DNA during transcription to sites of protein synthesis to undergo translation in order to yield a protein. Mr. Nucleic acid, the nerve agent. New adult, narcotics now, North America, and Native American. And I keep, even though Neil Diamond has a Jewish background, he keeps coming up as a Native American. The decoder of the gods, 1,000 suns, and the human rib comes up here. And of course that brings up Adam, or ADM, which is the 144. The seal is broken with Babylon, baby and lawn. Lawn is to shine, salt, moose, elk. And remember, moose is the 2, elk is the group. The blackbird, gluttony, to run far, fierce, to cook, or joyful. And the energy of the 12 and the 14 being 26 of Babylon was coming up as the Christ energy and the alchemist. So again, like the starseed, and then the ones who came up through the ranks on earth, so to speak, and then the one who gets pulled in from outside the institutions. The same energy of traveling the path in 2 ways, which add up to the 26, which is that page of wands and that inspiration of the child. And this was at Valentine's Day at 2:14. So at 2:15 is the underlying energy of finances and the wealthy man, 13, the dolphin and the star, which is 17, and 30 pieces of silver. And then transition of the wealthy man and Scorpio coming up multiple times. Happy-go-lucky dolphin, star, a dream come true, and Aquarius at 2:17, which is again Aquarius, and 15 above that's coming up, that's Capricorn, and then both 2s, that could be Pisces, perhaps Virgo. But the energy of the 2 stars and the underlying energy of leaving or travel, the suitcase, tracks, and the pyramids. The number 11 inside the upright pyramid. The trees, and I'm getting, I actually have a tarot card that I created that has more than just the 11 inside the pyramid, but it is that energy of sitting down at the table making a deal, like a business deal, and it's actually the 3 of Pentacles. The trees and the sunshine, crucifixion, the mother and children and the spouse, the bride and the groom, and the finances or the betrayal for money, as in the 30 pieces of silver. after the galactic Parthenon, Stargate, at the pyramids, and Athena's Parthenon. The galactic Venus/Mars align with the sun and the moon and then split. So they're associating those things with the energy above the two pyramids and the energy above the Greek Parthenon. But then the Greek Parthenon came up as well in this next energy regarding the Turkey Mount Olympus. And I'm wondering, just like the Appalachian Mountains have broken off because part of the Appalachian Mountains are actually left in Africa when the land split, I'm getting the same thing is Mount Olympus in Greece and Mount Olympus in Turkey are the same mountain chain actually. Galactic and Mars-Venus align as the sun and the moon and then split. And then the energy of the Mars continuing to Scorpio, but Venus turns around. And again, the energy of Egypt and Greece and coming to America. Coming to America. And the energy of Egypt and Greece was just kind of, I don't know why, but my grandparents are not Greece, but they always wanted to be called Yayan Papuli because they had Greek patients and they liked those names. So that energy is coming up along with Egypt and coming to America. And the medicine man or woman and Neil Diamond coming up again. And remember, Neil Diamond is to kneel down and offer a diamond. And then what came up was, sleep and I shall soothe you, calm you and anoint you, myrrh your hot forehead. Oh, don't you know everything's all right? Yes, everything's fine. And it's cool and the ointment's sweet for the fire in your head and feet. Close your eyes and relax, think of nothing tonight. And that actually goes into I Don't Know How to Love Him. And I actually have myrrh burning right there, which I don't usually have out. So at 226, the feminine or higher self and that page of wands in the year 26 coming up, Athena, aka Hercules, and native, aka Atlas on the cross, looked to the sun and the butterflies, which the butterfly I saw in the south of France was actually a black one. And why would you close your eyes as the sun filters through the trees, mother's canopy, as he holds her parasol so she can feed her children or read to her children the story of how mommy and daddy came together in love with 30 pieces of silver, tarnished coins laid out on the table, of wealthy man in transition to happy-go-lucky star, or his dreams come true. At 231, of the higher self and the conflict of the group, and the lessons and blessings. At 1:49:19, 11 minutes before the hour, laying coins out on the table, father and child holding on to his finger, in the persecution and injustice of the high priestess or priest, strung up. Father, stay with me at the appointed hour, light a candle, and write about Asia Minor, which is Anatolia. Turkey now, mostly. There may be some of Mesopotamia and Armenia that were part of Asia Minor, and Mount Ararat as well. So Galatians come from Asia Minor, as well as Celtics, and Aeolic Greeks, Assyrians, and Haitians, at 39 degrees north and 35 degrees east of the Knight of Cups and the Wounded Warrior, meaning the east from Greek. And Ankara means to deny father, refuse thy name, and then Romeo and Juliet coming up. Ankara is the largest city, and then Asia was coming up as, there's also a Philadelphia in Asia Minor, and there's Philadelphia in Egypt. And Asia was coming up as the two A's, as rockets or mountains on either side. And remember, the A is the mountain with the bridge across or a tunnel through it. And then the SI in the middle, as Turkey kisses Europe, or Thrace, which was Greece, bridging the Black Sea and the agency of Mount Olympuses, right? Because there's a Mount Olympus that you know in Greece, and then the Mount Olympus in Turkey. which I believe is the same mountain chain from the messages I'm getting. And Lake Tuz comes up between the Pontic Mountains and the Taurus Mountains on the south. And there's a tiny little lake right in the middle of the huge area, which is a lake, but I was getting it as a sea, Lake Tuz. The Taurus Mountains at the south, Mount Olympus in Greece and Mount Olympus in Turkey, and Great Mountain. So, and they're both very large, but the one in Greece is larger than the one in Turkey. And they're both at 40 degrees. So one's at 40 degrees 22 is the Greek one, and then 40 degrees 29 is the Turkey one. So they're both on that same 40 degrees. The one in Turkey is 40 degrees 0414. So a lot of, it's 4004, reflecting the Page of Cups and the Emperor, and then the 14 of that higher love. And I believe, and that was also a mountain where, I don't know if it was Zeus prayed there. There's different places where Zeus would pray. And then, of course, there's the energy of Zeus's tomb being found. So the Parthenon comes up here again, and Stephani, so it's, the mountain in Greece is called Stephani, or Thrones Dis, but the throne of Zeus, basically. And the V representing the two mountains, or the valley between. The third peak, like there's, right, that mountain is two peaks which are about the same height. The third peak being Agros Antonios, or St. Anthony, discovered in 1961, which is the year I was born, which was that's the one that was considered Zeus's sanctuary at 42 degrees 26 degrees east. So and the place Nat came up as well, and NAT, which also always comes up with Nat King Cole, is unforgettable, and Anatolia, Asia Minor. So there's something very significant about our birth coming from Asia Minor, and you see all of the major energies coming up with the Celtics and obviously the brown skin people coming up here. And again, Neil Diamond coming up referencing that energy. Okay, so the Galatians, which can represent Starseed or Galactics and Celtics. The Greeks, Assyrians, Haitians, and there were a few more listed as well, but the main ones. And then the East from Greek. So they all came together in Asia Minor, which part of that was Mesopotamia. The energy of psychics who wrote of Asia Minor and unrequited love. Of the feminine and the biblical masculine. So again, representing coming in from two different directions, right? One coming in from the Neanderthal man and naturally becoming the human that we are now, and the other one being a starseed, popping in. And there's other energy today that came up of it taking, right, the feminine's going through 8 years or whatever the years are, and then the masculine taking 2/3 of that. So it was bringing me up the example of the Grand Canyon, because it took 6 hours to go down the Grand Canyon, but it only takes 4 to come up, but it's much harder, right, because you're going up a steeper hill. And then it was at 4 o'clock, the double zeros backing up the 4 of the Lamb to leap, the Lamb to the Father, and again that roar of the lion coming in at the beginning of the read as well. The 15 of the Lovers, which again that 15 energy is coming up all over the place, of the Father and Son lineage, the 17 of the Gift, and the 12 of the 7 of Pentacles birds, the group of feminines, and the 5 of the mature man of the world, or Atlas, and the 13 of the wealthy man. After the main male, 21 of climbing the mountain, or Zeus, at the buck moon, July 3rd, and the energetic exchange of the bypass or bridge through the mountain, the tunneling. A mountain or world between two men. The magician main male and the Ace of Cups, 28, of the twin flames, and the loving man with a rose, or two sides of himself, with the 27 of risky love letter, or one of passion, and the lovers 15 in shadows of the mountain in Greece, Mount Olympus, and the Parthenon, of a dream gift from a wise group of birds, reaping rewards and assessing their worth. The Greek lovers gifted by the group of birds who have hung out, and again the love letters of great men is coming into this energy here. The mature men of the world, or the intellectual and the wealthy businessman. The Taurus North Node and the Scorpio South, and the energy of Matu is coming up, M-A-T-U, which is the way my son used to say his name, Matthew. He used to say Matu. So Matu is coming up, and he is a Scorpio. So Taurus North Node, Scorpio South as Matu, regarding the man of We All Thy Man, Custard's Last Stand, as the Taurus comes down or retires or transitions from intellectual to wealthy businessman, and collapsing the Taurus and Scorpio to the middle at 412 of the Emperor and the Hanging Man. The 16 of the man with thoughts of a woman, suddenly, and the 27 of unexpected income or sudden new passion, and the Queen's Gambit, an exchange of hands, perhaps an inheritance here, in deep transformation of the 44, which is that Hercules energy of the Four of Cups, and her harvest, magnifying glass, details, tests, and cards, blowing things up to be bigger than they are, or details of the father and son contract. And Dr. Zeus is coming up again here too. The details of persecution and inquisition, the public forum or judgment, and is it a trap? Or freedom with the Hermit and Queen of Swords, Virgo with flowers or gifts, of Buddha and Christ coming together to resolve earthly differences, of pagan rituals and Chinese medicine and Irish brew, Turkey and messing up, or taming one, Mia. So that was coming up as Mesopotamia. Mess up or tame Mia. One, it's all Greek to me, or to me is tomb. The Cretan tomb of April 25th, 22, of Zeus, Kesos, northwest corner of the Sinai Peninsula, Tel El Pharma, there's that pharma energy that was coming up earlier, which is the archaeologist site that it was found, Pelusian, the god of the sky, Mount Kesos in Syria, when Zeus once worshipped. A Celtic find, and then Bridget came up. Watch out for men trying to make money transferring antiquities to flowery sites. Right? Again, the businessman trying to make money, or being a middleman, making money, like it's like Amazon, taking someone from a cheaper site to sell it for more money on another site. Well, they're just bringing that up because they're saying that's what people are doing, transferring antiquities, maybe that the elites had hidden, since the beginning of time, God knows. And then bringing them out and planting them somewhere to be found so they can make more money off of it. At 4:42, the hyena, shark, beaver, scorpion, crow, and dolphin. After the cobra is on alert, the oyster with their feelers out, and the hyena slithering away, out for blood with hard-working beaver, with stinger out, shocking or jumping, the crow, the ground crew, blasting the dark from the earth, unearthing, or in other words, a dig. The dolphin swim. High Sha Bee Avenue, or the path of the scorpion crow, or path of the score crow, the peon CRO, or two U's, the dolphins holding hands, Omega horseshoes, and again referencing Messier 83 in Hydra, the Hydra galaxy, the pinwheel galaxy. Omega horseshoes, linked. The Lyran energies burst forth in clean waters here at 448. And again, referencing 44/8, which is Hercules and her harvest, which is Athena. The dear one, gazelle, and the butterfly say what? As the dolphin is proud of themselves and gets the deer and gazelle's attention to help bee become butterfly who's struggling to fly. Doe, a deer, a Georgia peach, Ray, a drop of golden sun. Buttercup, yellow, as a matter of fact, at 451, the King of Swords and the Emperor. The black egg, or the throat chakra, right? The black sheep of the family, the frog in the rain, speaking their truth. Love rain on me, to a rising phoenix, as the crocodile and the lion face off in a duel. Reptilians and lyrans, in a collective awakening from the ashes of the lie. Remember, lie is made from ashes and water, basically. As the eagle dives and dives, spurred on by the hummingbird's whispers clearing the air, caught in their own web as the unicorn looks on at the broken seal with the peacock, and the fish now out of water, the horse and the rabbit that had died, Mr. Ed taking care of the little ones. And again, remember Dr. Zeus. And remember, Jesus is I Zeus as well. Jesus, Jesus, Dr. Zeus. You get the energy? So the lyran dear ones see them transform right before their eyes at 534. The truth of the bee growing butterfly wings to be like buttercup, the caterpillar transformed. So now the frog must tell their truth to phoenix/eagle as they rise from ash and dive with a safety net below. The net, in a face-off of dark and light, sealing the deal, the hummingbird and the unicorn with drilling options, or grilling the birds. Caught in a snare, but the seal was broken. To the peacock's surprise, fish out of water escaped the net, leaving the room for bunny to get in or out. And is bunny Mr. Ed's DNA? Their ears and eyes look similar, but that's really about it. So at 543 of the Hierophant and the coming together of the Three of Cups, and the Hierophant, or the master of the hidden, the uncomfortable, or refusing to walk away from justice at work, with the King of Swords upright and the Queen of Swords reversed, and perhaps in a marriage for money, perhaps mediating a divorce here, or done, and these are the lawyers hashing it out with the judge, or Libra upright and Gemini and or Virgo upright here, the magician showing off their DNA, or perhaps their own talents. Or perhaps this is MJ and Richard Simmons impersonation, letting go or paying to cross the bridge or tunnel, fixing or making amends with unhappy family, or an ending to an emotional cycle that's a long time coming. With the Ten of Cups reversed, clinging to the inequity or unhappiness with inheritance, or unfair after a death or ending. With the Nine of Cups upright and the Nine of Pentacles reversed, both sovereigns, but the Nine of Pentacles reversed could be dependent, perhaps losing their independence. As Scorpio is reversed and Pisces is reversed, perhaps one is happy alone and the other is still dependent or powerless to spending or finishing or going back to school or the 5D world. Perhaps needing closure with High Priestess or Pisces or Virgo upright. Perhaps spending less or deciding to invest. As the Magician, Four of Pentacles, and the family, Six of Pentacles, this could be multiple people investing. The Magician will be investing 4 of the family's 6. The single one, who may be happy with themselves and doesn't have children to spend on, may be actually investing 9 Pentacles. And then the Divine Feminine, Pisces or Virgo energies with 7 Pentacles. 26 Pentacles in all. And again, there's that energy of 26 in the Page of Wands and the year. For the Page of Wands reversed, to achieve success or graduate, or to be seen, popular, or with a following at 555. Or the Six of Wands and the Knight of Wands in separation or bad weather between them, caught in a storm or crossfire as the Five of Pentacles are out in the cold, or ran into bad weather and someone needed help, or called out and given a choice by the Queen of Cups reversed, but will feel bad if they don't help them out with all that work to do. starting over, or at least won't be bored, as the Eight of Wands reversed in a heated exchange with the Knight of Swords. Or perhaps this is traffic delays or aggressive drivers and someone very late or called out and is stressed, given an opportunity to be creative and brainstorm, to get the Wounded Warrior reversed to surrender, or someone to take some of their burden. But both here are burdened and perhaps giving up or coming clean. Perhaps a loving trip is over or a long trip is over, but has to clean up still and they're really tired. Or needing some peace at 6:06. Two sets of lovers perhaps with space between now. To detox as the King of Pentacles is reversed and overwhelmed or emotionally spent, or triggered by the Ten of Pentacles reversed or missing them, or the Queen of Pentacles upright is now free after the King of Pentacles reversed paid out. The Queen of Pentacles is moving or a visit or destabilized in a divorce, but the worst is now over with the Emperor reversed withholding or playing games or hardball or talking out of their butt, or needing to wake up and smell the coffee or at least swallow their pride. With Taurus reversed at 6:10, Aries and Aquarius reversed, perhaps a bad call and now present, with the Queen of Wands upright and the Page of Swords reversed child, with Sphinx keeping the goose in check, perhaps disillusioned that the judge will let him say whatever he wants, or won't want to fill in the gaps with new information on break, or off balance and the need to break. And then coming back strong. So it's someone who does, like, who's trying to get out of something at court or something like that. And they try to get a break so that then they can come back strong again, right? To get their balance back again before they state their case. To stand up to a loveless marriage or third party or bad influences or drinking too much, as the King of Cups may put them to shame for juggling, performing, or having their cake and eating it too. And this could be a judge, like putting someone in their place. Resisting sudden changes for them to get their way. Perhaps someone tried a bribe, or a very smug man at 6:16 of Lovers and the Tower here. Sunshine, and that could be family as well in the Tower. With sunshine and upright, strength and the Five of Swords reversed, all is exposed and weakened post-war, with the Knight of Pentacles offering to help or bailing them out, to meet for a split or coming to an agreement with the Empress upright and the Page of Cups reversed, deceived by their lover or ex, rejected, or dealing with the Page of Cups reversed. It could be a pet or a child who may be up really early or bed really late, or depressed and shy, or spoiled and entitled, in a breakup or with no affection, with Taurus upright and Gemini or Cancer reversed, where Cancer upright is making a bold move, or driving or traveling with the Knight of Cups, offering love or kindness to the King of Wands reversed in a falling out with the Page of Pentacles reversed, or very difficult, or maybe they're just very different from each other, and the Page of Pentacles reversed needs their help, or is overworked, or just not working in a losing battle, or perhaps a sore loser, or doesn't fit with the group, or the King of Wands reversed has no patience with them, or has an explosive temper, and getting advice or counsel here, or Hermit shedding light on their situation. So let's see, some other energy that was coming up is to love to sew, or again the darker tan medding, the Nor energy. And again the energy of Asia Minor, the sledgehammer, a viscous fluid or raw honey or syrup. But again that tanned brown man was very significant there. So I'm going to get to the read on the table. It's 223 here, 38, 39 it just was. It's the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Let me just get back to that read. Okay, and here it is, right? The shadow and the reason, yes. So, of course, this was cut and dealt at 6:15, which is the Lovers and the Devil. And the 15's been that main energy today. And 6:15 was also that number I went back to in 15, 6:15. And I finished this read at 6:24, which is the Queen of Wands. And that's the way 24 would be written, 24/6. So this one was the Shadow, the major arcana here. The Shadow, which is the Devil. Reason, which is the Emperor. The Lovers, Solar Deity, which is the Sun. And the Star. After the read was Ascension, which is the World. The Wheel, or the Great Wheel. And Reflection, which is the Hermit. There was 1 wand, 3 pentacles, 1 cup, and 1 sword, so 13, 11, which is transition and justice, or alignment. the Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and then the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands came up after the read. So I pulled some extra cards at the end, so you can't see them, but these cards at the end are the big cards. This last one is the Knight of Cups. And then I also continued, and I got some information here. So here's where that Knight of Wands is with the twin flames, the Ace of Cups, and there's the masculine in the Bat Cave, his divine masculine's heart, the Four of Pentacles, and then the higher self with his higher self. So there's very significant energy right there, which I'll get to in a second. So what else do we have here? Double numbers. We had double ones, double twos, double fours, sixes, and sevens, so a lot. 11 is Justice, 22 is the Fool, 44 is that Four of Cups, or Hercules energy, her harvest. 66 is the Queen of Pentacles, but also the Golden Gates. 77 is the Sovereign energy, which came up a lot here too, but reversed. We have 12 of the Hanging Man, 23 of the Year and the King of Wands, 34 of the Eight of Wands, and then 46, which is the Six of Cups, and then 67, which is the Knight of Pentacles, and in a lesser sense, 78 of the Ten of Pentacles, and then 8, 9, 10 begin again. The code line was all about the number 78, which never comes up because we rarely have numbers that high, but it was coming from 1 and 77, which is 78, and 177 there as well, which the sevens and ones is always significant. And the code line. So the messages that were coming up from the code line, we had a lot of the Christos Sophia energy there, along with the top dog, or source energy, creator of all that is. The key of Sophia and the editor-in-chief, Christ acing and sharing and balancing. The word fault came up, F-O-L-T, which means stain, which is funny because that's part of my name. But the left energy here, which also can be the Fool and the Vault, the ear of wheat, the hair and locks, and the 7-up sap, the divine feminine's heart, seeing the key of sunshine or solar deity, the he star or the star. Time out to pay or check, or time out to be born, to rise, to spring out at the half moon, or balance the crazy fool to the nth degree, to be whole and complete, or fourth, that fourth energy of the lambda leap. Remember, 1, 2, 3 is the leap to the fourth, which is source energy, to follow and speak. The life essence that increases with the Seven of Pentacles in the E tower, the divine feminine's heart, to see the key of the solar deity, where he is the star, sunshine, the star. T's with check or earned income credit of Christ acing or balancing with the source energy, the top dog, the father. So here's that father and son relationship. The top dog to the left of Sophia, evening up or settling out, the divine feminine in the E tower, seeking Merlin, sunshine, the star, or the protector. The key of Sophia, Christ bridge, of one sharing mid-moon, perhaps too much to the left, with the chariot of the divine feminine's heart in the E tower, seeing the key of exposing the star, or the he star. So we started here with the shadow, and the underlying energies here, this right here. I'll move it over a little bit so you can see that better. So we have the shadow card with the mini cards on top, and below that shadow card was the 3 of Swords upright, 6 of Cups upright, 8 of Cups upright, and the 9 of Cups reversed, with the 10 of Swords upright right below the shadow. The commitment or guidance, or no commitment or guidance here, or in a divorce, separation from the 6 of Cups upright, walking away dissatisfied with self, in a painful ending, or no longer wanting to be alone and ending the pain, or getting a massage, a detox, or breaking the chains. So I'm going to go back to the cards that we pulled in the beginning, right? We had these 3 powerful cards along with the moon, and again, the stars of the masculine and feminine, and that supernova energy between, and the energy of breaking the chains and transformation on the journey. All right, so this is your message in the beginning of today's read. Very, very powerful here. And I was getting too from Fleetwood Mac, I remember you promising you would never break the chains. And again, there's the energies of vows that need to be broken, right? Because it's being controlled by another, when this is supposed to be free will for all. So the energy of no commitment or guidance, or in a divorce, separation from the Six of Cups, walking away dissatisfied, and this energy of breaking the chains. With the Page of Cups and the Queen of Swords, in a heated exchange about success, or attention and reputation, in a losing battle of drama, or after a sudden event, with the King of Swords and the High Priestess, or perhaps an assistant or bookkeeper, as Capricorn and Scorpio reversed with Pisces or Virgo upright, and the Queen of Swords reversed with the King of Swords upright, or perhaps that's the lawyers involved. Healing and dreams coming true with the Emperor reversed, which can be someone abusing their power or stepping down from power or just not well. Perhaps he was released on his own recognizance, or stepping down and released to detox, or breaking the chains. With Aquarius upright, Aries or Capricorn reversed here, perhaps diabetic foot issues and being released, or foot wrapping taken off, or bad man is released from prison, perhaps due to medical reasons to heal, or because the web is down, perhaps some kind of electronics got open, and that's how someone escaped. Or the recent past here is the Seven of Cups upright and the Stairway to Heaven, after falling on their face or from grace, or embarrassed in lacking faith in what they see, or fell for it, or fell for the one, holding on and keeping their cards close to their chest, in a divorce with the Wounded Warrior on guard, with Aries and Taurus both reversed, and Saggy reversed as well. So no one's happy in the changing of the guards as we move from Taurus to Aries. The foundation is the Ace of Pentacles upright in the groundbreaking event after a painful end, with the Diamond in the rough, soulmates, twin flame, kids, with big passion to invite peace into their lives in a fresh new start. The center energy is the Page of Wands upright again, 26, expecting to be serviced by the Wounded Warrior who's drained, the Knight of Wands reversed, with issues at work or perhaps off work. Perhaps the kids are out of control, as Leo and Sag both reversed, servicing the Emperor reversed, who acts like a child, as the Page of Wands. Or kids caught having sex, but they are in love with each other. They're soulmates at 706. So some parents aren't sure about their kids being caught. There is real love there. The Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles, and Page of Wands are all upright here. Perhaps they're fresh out of a detox. So this could be kids who met in a rehab as well. Or detoxing now that school's over. With the Page of Wands, perhaps had issues with the Knight of Wands reversed at school, perhaps a fire sign bully or a sibling who's a player, or paid for someone's final, or paid the Knight of Cups reversed to cheat for them, or rejected an offer to settle out in a separation with heartbreak or disappointment, or a parent paid a child to stay away from another, or someone here could be paying for sex, or one partner has to bring gifts if they want sex from the other. The challenge being the Seven of Pentacles, or the Divine Feminine's heart in the E Tower, taking down the field and coming clean about the Ten of Pentacles reversed family, business, or community dysfunction or loss, the injustice at home, a move or visit, or can't sleep and always on guard, or in awakening and coming out to wake the dead. Perhaps the Page of Cups and the Page of Pentacles are excited to see the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands who's reversed, or perhaps this is a sleepover. Perhaps the older ones bought alcohol for the younger ones and got caught, or caught in a storm, or setting out before the storm hit. In the Merlin standing guard for any sneaky behavior, or chaperones at a party or date, or making sure they clean up at the place. Perhaps it's a wreck and they can't go to bed until they clean up the house. And again, this could be, proms and all that kind of stuff that last all night and the parents end up having to be there all night. At 719 is the Chariot and the Sun, as the now moment energy is the Emperor reversed, who may be very unreasonable here, perhaps, or not well, getting over grief or regret, or keeping to themselves for peace of mind, coming together in a party or friends over, and the Magician reversed, manipulative, but the Hermit sees them, perhaps caught them lurking outside. The Hermit awakened to destiny at present, awakened to a gift in back pain or a pain in the ass or massage. With the Ten of Cups upright, happy family, but the King of Wands is not. He's reversed. Perhaps he has to get up really early and everybody else is making a lot of noise in the house, or can't sleep with the pain they have, or up all night for graduation parties or prom. With the Queen of Cups reversed and the Queen of Pentacles reversed as well, the King of Pentacles upright, with the Nine of Pentacles reversed and the Empress upright, perhaps the Nine of Pentacles reversed dependent is ending up sleeping between the King of Pentacles and the Empress, or just chaperoning. And soon as the Page of Pentacles, reaping rewards and starting over, again, that student, or a good student, of graduation announcement, the wake-up call to assess their worth and start over, with the King of Cups upright, the Page of Swords reversed, and the Queen of Wands upright. Again, a child getting between two adults, or so many kids to a parent on a trip. Or the King of Cups and the Queen of Wands are not speaking to each other, but otherwise they're fine. Or making sure the child sits between them at the ceremony so they don't have to deal with each other, as the twin flames are seeing themselves as the Four of Swords reversed, perhaps not sleeping, or not sleeping with each other, or awakening to a ribbon cutting or separation, or in another world with their twin flame, after dissatisfaction and stuck, or unable to function at work, or arrogant and stubborn, or world upside down, incomplete without their twin flame. Perhaps suffering in silence, or dealing with sister, or just stressed out in a breaking up without affection, or hanging out to deal with X on the warpath. In a break up, a break down, a break in, out, or through at 7/28, which is going to be coming up this month, the Chariot and the Twin Flames, which is my brother's birthday actually, July 28th, who's a Leo, right? And then around that is the Lover's reversed energy of Atlas and hard work and slaving a long time to be able to walk away, to agree, to be strong, to tame the beast when out of alignment, or the wheels need to be greased, or watching all your money go out the door or the window. Worked so hard on a partnership just to have to give it all up in the end. The block being here the solar deity reversed, of no energy or drained, and having been burned, overexposed, or devaluing oneself. As the Page of Wands, with the Queen of Wands upright here, out in the cold in a split, or with the need for clarity, or the Queen of Wands and Page of Wands sent others away defeated, having played their game. With the Star upright and the Emperor reversed, or Aquarius having to defend themselves to the death, to Klingons and those who want to dance, juggle, or perform with them, get out of the daily grind, or people expecting them to save them, or parents announcing, "Everybody out!" As the stars, the world, now over and destined, the Hermit to reflect back, needing to surrender to all that is, with the Knight of Cups reversed, or a child that is grounded, or the Knight of Cups reversed, who no longer works here, or is escorted out at 7:36. Again, the Chariot and the Atlas energy, as the helicopter was low again. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces reversed, Aquarius, Libra, and Virgo upright here. Could be Sagittarius and Taurus upright there as well. The King of Wands reversed at the new moon, with the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles both reversed, but the King of Pentacles upright. And dependent Empress. Receiving love from patient angel, Knight of Swords, messenger of truth, or deliveries again, as only an angel would, at 7:42, the Chariot and the Two of Cups. Perhaps getting a child to do their dirty work for them, to let someone go. Separation, disappointment, or lack of guidance, and the Six of Cups kids or soulmates walking away dissatisfied, in a painful ending or ending pain, or getting a massage or detox for a new beginning, in a breakthrough and awakening in order to break up, in lack of affection or indecisive, and spiraling up or going upstairs after a detox, with the Page of Wands upright, challenged by the Divine Feminine's heart, or reaping and assessing worth, with the Page of Pentacles, draining the Emperor reversed, or healer, or dreaming in 5D destiny, Libra, Virgo dropping the daily, or juggling act, and refusing to surrender to the Knight of Cups reversed and their emotional manipulation, at 7:18, the Chariot and the Moon, or romance. Detoxing on the stairway to heaven, new life. I'm getting like First Churches and Church of New Life and that kind of energy. As the Page of Wands upright is challenged by the Divine Feminine's heart in the E Tower. And again, remember the E is the Merlin, right? The defense tower. As the Emperor reversed is awakening to the Page of Pentacles, who's very curious, while breaking up or drained or got burned as dreams come true though, almost complete and destined to reflect and drop the act, with the Knight of Cups reversed, and lead the way with the Knight of Wands reversed, twin flame, overflowing with love from the Divine Masculine's heart in the Bat Cave with the higher self at 752, which is the Chariot and the Queen of Swords. But also the way 52 is written, 52/7. The Knight of Cups reversed and the Knight of Wands reversed, and the Journeyman leading by example to the twin flames with an outpouring of love in his Bat Cave with his higher self. Okay, I think that's plenty. It's 2:40:16. And again, the energy of Hydra and Aquila and the Phoenix and the Moon and the breaking of the chains, the chain gang. What is that song I'm thinking of? Chain gang. Dun, dun. Breaking of the chains and the chain gang. But again, Fleetwood Mac came up with breaking the chains. You would never break the chains. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chains. The snake, the bird. So literally the snake and the eagle's coming up as the phoenix, the snake and the bird as one, blasting off through the chakra system for one last clearing. To the moon, Alice. Remember, Alice is one of the machines of CERN. Very interesting. And breaking the chains here. And again, the double diamond. And then the Star of Bethlehem between. But it's some kind of huge supernova here, which again references the energy of all the twin flames coming into union at the same time. Right? It's a huge supernova moment. Okay, just an energy card to close, and then we'll get going. Let's see if I can find where I put my energy deck. There we go. Nope, that's not it. This one, here it is. Okay. Sleep and us how soon you come and reach the of your hot forehead. Oh, don't you know everything's alright? Yes, everything's fine. And it's cool and the ointment's sweet. Oh, the fire in your head and feet. Close your eyes and relax. Think of nothing tonight. Those two flames, Teddy's dog bowls are over there, and they're not reflecting actually, but they're literally two reflections over there in the dog bowl. Probably from my light, not from the flames, but there's another two flames that are static right there, and this came right up. So with the 42 of the Two of Cups and the woman holding a coin. But you notice this isn't really a coin, it's more of a token. It's like a promise ring. That's what I'm getting now. And there's the wounded warrior. And she's like kind of like softening a little bit. Like she was really hard, but she's kind of like peeking around the corners, like allowing herself to soften a little bit towards the wounded warrior at the root. She's like she's taking a second look at him. And then we have the door to value. What is it that you value? And maybe these are two who value very different things. So is she getting mad at him now and questioning his motives after all these years? Or is she softening to him to come in? But I feel like it's someone walking away because he's coming up with wings. She's not coming up with wings. And this is saying, what is it that you value? And the 30 pieces of silver are coming up here in the betrayal. And there's the Empress energy of blossoming abundance of nature. What do you value? Do you value money or nature? Do you value, right, the AI or the earth? Yeah, very interesting. And the bottom of the deck is the thinking man. Okay, so we have the 46 of the Six of Cups. And again, going into the inner child to find out what pleases you. He's got 2 feathers in his cap, and that's the energy of the 2 children, the 6 of Cups. And there's the energy of the masculine speaking their truth from the heart as the Queen of Cups, going into the feminine energy, but as a masculine energy here in their heart. So remember what I said, right? The masculine independent becomes the feminine's heart, and the feminine independent becomes the masculine's heart. And again, this is weird. This is my soul number. That's my daughter's soul number. And she is a masculine energy for sure. Very interesting. And that's the underlying energy. So I'm going to let you go with that. I hope you got all that information. There's a lot of great stuff in there. Remember to breathe very deeply, oxygenate all of your cells, and stretch every day. I love you guys. Remember to drink your water, get plenty of rest, get your joy, and your time in nature. Whether it's your eyes, after you're on the computer a long time, make sure you reset them outside in distance of nature and sun. And also put your feet out in the grass, salt baths, anything to clear your aura energy. But just, basic things. Remember to stretch and drink water and rest. And of course, rise and be love. I'll see you guys soon. Have an amazing day. Love you. Bye.